It's going to be acidity from tomatoes.
Right, you'll have
and then
tart and it's acid and nothing else. Alright. So now we gotta stir all that in, and then we add our final ingredients and then the meat.
This one's for all my baby girls.
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian Bills. Italian DarksydePhil. Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian chill. Italian can't give her a pill. I'm half kind of European mix. European style, Asian fusion style. Tips, greasy hair. Pasta once a week. Authentic style, Asian fusion style. Italian.
Guess what else we're gonna add?
What?
Sausage. Italian sausage. That's gonna go in here too.
I love sausage. I have had many varieties.
Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian Bills. Italian DarksydePhil. Italian wife. Italian wife. Italian chill. Italian can't give her a pill. Why do you pretend to be Italian? I don't. I'm not full-blooded Italian. That'd be ridiculous for me to claim. I'm a quarter Italian. I am 1/4 Polish, and then I'm half kind of European mix. Yikes. And I am controlling all of you. And what I do, I wiggle like this. And what happens is your wallet opens up and all of your money flies out of your wallet through the sky. And then once a day I open my window with a big bag, a big sack like Santa's loot sack. And just fills with money just flying in there. Yikes. Money kinesis. I have money kinesis.
He got that.
Money kinesis.
He got that.
Hypnosis.
He got that.
Money kinesis. Controlling all of you. Money kinesis.
He got that pig gnosis. You know, through the pig roaches. Notorious PEG. He got them bills lined up every single week. You know, all these Hogans ain't for free. So swing by and hit me. Please drop a tip if you like the post nasal drip. If you drop a like, I'ma snort right in the mic. 14 years for these Hogans. 14 years so I can be broke boy Joe Rogan.
Hypnosis. Money kinesis. I have money kinesis.
He got that.
Money kinesis.
He got that.
Hypnosis.
He got that.
Money kinesis. Controlling all of you. Money kinesis.
He got that pig gnosis. You know, through the pig roaches. Notorious PEG. He got them bills lined up every single week. You know, all these Hogans ain't for free. So swing by and tip me.
Money kinesis. I have money kinesis.
He got that.
Money kinesis.
He got that.
Hypnosis.
He got that.
Money kinesis.
He got that.
Controlling all of you. Money kinesis.
He got that.
Hypnosis.
My name is Richard.
I am DarksydePhil. Oh my god.
I really need to make this fucking money.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money. I'm done. Why am I poisoning? What? Why am I toxic?
Got this fucking
Why am I toxic?
Got this fucking
Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser. Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a loser.
I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Why are you doing this to me? I just can't do it. Real talk, why? Anybody who says they have bad luck. Anybody who says they have bad luck. made $1 and lost 1 subscriber. So you guys earn 3 minutes of commercials. I don't spill my fingers. I touch my face. Did something that's a twitch. Did something that's a twitch. Got no bitch in my blood. 0 bitch in my blood. Honestly, straight lie in people's faces. I don't spill my fingers, right? That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. That was my depression. I need that money. Pay my bills, electric bill, the internet bill. I just can't do it.
No, we're not going to finish this today. Don't even ask. Impossible. There's 4 hours, 3.5 hours left of it. And again, we haven't even hit the good stuff. It ain't happening.
I didn't even add a Keemstar emote because I didn't anticipate us getting to him. Or at least getting to it in a significant enough way to warrant an emote.
Where's the Beat Your Demons DSP song? I added a bunch of songs to the playlist, so it probably would come up eventually. Can we watch a bit of the Final Fantasy 13 unboxing? Once we end, if we still feel like doing a little bit of DSP, we'll get to it. We'll do a little bit of it. It's Philly Demon time. What do you want me to do about the gamble jackpot? Because if I take away even, let's say I reduce it by half, moms would be like, "Oh, you're scamming a jackpot." I can't win with it. Y'all wanted this. Y'all deal with it.
Ain't got nothing to do with me.
More DSP. Better prepare my wall to plant my face in. No way they get it done on the stream. Absolutely not.
Who thought that we would? It is an impossibility.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. Yeah. Let's just...
I mean, I guess it could be.
No, we can't. Even at the increased size. Oh, the dude that replied to you and I searched for your comments and I can't find it because you deleted it.
Yeah.
Either he deleted it or it went to spam. But considering Triton's also,
there's no way that it could have.
I very much doubt that. It's looking like a 3-stream vid, maybe even 4.
I think we can get it done in 3.
That Keem stuff was a lot.
But I think that we would have less to say about it because they say what needs to be said.
Okay. Triggered greater sign anything. The triggered streams were maybe greater sign anything because they were fun until they are not. Are you still replying to that dude?
No, we can.
No, I'm saying it's Jover. It's a donezo deal.
It's never Jover.
All right, yeah.
How dare you?
Let's just get into it.
Nice.
And this is something that I don't have a whole lot of, I've left companies over this, right? And this is something that I don't agree with.
Could you go back a little bit? Because I forgot what they were talking about.
Sure.
Right? For money consistently.
Banned. All right. I guess that's what they were talking about.
On forever.
Adam and I have both worked with people who like the worst thing you can do is look at your audience as $1.
Okay. It was about, would you prefer sponsorships or fan support? Because I remember I was writing questions down and I remember seeing that.
As $1, right? And this is something that I don't have a whole lot of, I've left companies over this, right? And this is something that I don't agree with. But I would say that when money comes in and you reach a goal, let's say you reach a goal and you put on your vest or whatever, how are you taking that money and are you reinvesting it into your content? Are you doing special streams outside of
You see, I put that back in my business by getting a bunch of Chinese food and putting up old pictures on my wall. So there you go.
Phil should take away 1 stream a week and make it a fan stream for his members and stuff.
He would still get money.
A game either they voted on that's exclusive to them or playing with them.
Just your day-to-day gameplay stuff. What value are you adding by people I mean, I get you have to pay bills. I get it, right? What value are you adding to your audience's experience to further that meaningful relationship that you're offering?
Yeah, we've had big goals. Like for example,
anything he paid for in the background. Those 2 big pictures he did
a long time ago, I think.
Ghost was a gift. I think the Sonic came in a big pack of one of those collector editions things.
Same with the bobblehead.
Yeah.
If we hit a monthly members goal on YouTube, if we hit a sub goal on Twitch, now instead of just doing our normal routine gameplay, I do an interactive event with the viewers where we'll talk for a series of weeks. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see a big React event? Do you want to see a special party atmosphere? We just did one a couple of weeks ago. It was a Super Bowl event. I never.
No. Craig's about to get it. But Phil, what you essentially described is I'm doing a stream I would have always done anyway. It's just a little different.
I'm just putting a name on it.
I'm just putting a name on it. Us, we have weekly a video, a stream.
Hopefully.
This is a special stream.
Allegedly.
This is outside of what we should be doing. Phil does not go outside of what he would already be doing.
And he's trying to make it seem like he does.
I see a big React event. Do you want to see a special party atmosphere? We just did one.
A special party atmosphere. When they give me a lot of money, I give them a special party atmosphere.
Is this faster than it was before?
Why?
Because we need to absorb what he's saying. I think you had it at 1.15 last time. Because there's stuff that can be missed if we...
A couple of weeks ago, it was a Super Bowl event. I never.
What is a React event? What does that mean? Is it just you watching stuff, or?
React would be, for example.
He's about to explain React.
Yes, Craig.
It's me watching stuff that they vote on that they want me to watch.
But he got to make it so much more complicated to make himself seem like he's doing something. Is that when you just watch stuff? Yeah, it is. They vote on it, but yep, it's mostly just me watching stuff
along with them, that type of thing. And it's something I don't typically do. I don't know if this was before or after DSP Reacts, but he could have just went. It's not something I typically do because I'm not a big fan of React style content. But the fans want it, and I provide it for them.
Let's say there's a documentary, a long form documentary out there that people really want to see me react to. It's for 2 hours, right? But for me to react to it, it's going to take like 3-4 hours. Well, that's going to take a major chunk out of my normal schedule to do. People also...
No. How does it take a major chunk out of your schedule if it's 4 hours? It's not multiple days.
It's a major chunk out of his schedule because it's half the day of what he should be doing, which is playing video games, I guess.
No.
But then, how about you reduce your pre-stream from that 2 hour bush?
Okay, answer me this. Mm-hmm. How is it a chunk out of his schedule if he's scheduling to do this? This is the schedule.
I don't understand.
It's not going outside. It's not somebody coming in right now and just going, yo, Trigger just put out a brand new spanking video about y'all. Y'all need to watch this right now. It's like, oh, we got to watch this now. That'd be something outside of the schedule. But he is scheduling this stuff for weeks going, get hyped, y'all. Vote for this. Come here on this day. Give me money. But this is outside of my normal schedule.
It is outside of the normal schedule.
No.
Not outside of the special schedule he's provided with this. It's like if you do something at work, you are scheduled to do this thing at 8 p.m. Every day. But now they've scheduled you to do something else at 8 p.m. It is outside of your normal schedule.
Has a monthly React that is factored into everything that he does.
Yes, what the
How is that outside of his schedule, normally scheduled stuff? That is well within the normally scheduled stuff. That is the schedule.
On the games that I'm playing. But you hit that event, now we're going to do special things. This big React event, it's separate from all my other content. A lot of times it's hyped up. We set special things around it that I normally wouldn't do. Yes, some of that money gets reinvested.
Pause. They're asking you a question about what do you do with this? What is the React event? Well, there's some stuff around it. I don't even know what he's talking about, and I watched the stuff.
I guess
it has to just be cooking with the king,
or maybe it's stuff like that Hawaiian shirt and glasses.
No, do not.
Maybe he bought that shirt and bought those sunglasses and that's technically a reinvestment and stuff around it. These monkeys are already.
We never left. I thought Chris was here, but no, that's not, because what other time can you think of that happening?
What do you mean? Oh, whatever time. As far as what Phil has done.
Yes.
I'm sure. One of the Street Fighter things, he bought the Ryu and the Ken stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that was after this moment.
That's not what you said.
And that was also not a React
That's
thing.
not what
They're
you
speaking
said.
specifically about React.
That's not
and he
what
has to
you
go into
said.
his vagaries to make himself to just like, well, you can't question me because I'm going, I do stuff. And then you gotta go into like, what is that stuff? Or you could just move on. And if you just move on, he's made his point and he wins.
Phil always wins. What do you mean? When you watching shitty internet videos and eating DoorDash sound like it's got planned and put into it.
It's nuts that he's just going, yeah, here. I'm doing stuff. Like, yeah, I watch stuff. Yeah. Yep, that is. But just going, it's a React event, so that's just you watching stuff? How exactly is this an event
or special?
What is anything about this? He has to go, no, we do stuff around it. There's a big 2-hour video, and that's going to take me 3 or 4 hours. Heaven forbid, double the length of a video. What? Phil? As he just nods his head, reads chat, and says what he sees. Those things are unwatchable. It is a crime. That is. I'm not a big fair use, but do say something.
Yeah.
I have a series. I know this sounds stupid, but my fans love this. It's called Feasting with the King.
It's not stupid, Phil. Yeah. You brought this up. You provided. You enjoy it.
It's you putting a lampshade on it of, look, I know this is silly, you guys.
But it's what my fans want.
It's not. It is this.
It is what you want. It is what you probably do on a typical day anyway. But now you get to make money off of it.
Yes.
Basically, I order a meal and I eat a meal with my audience. They think it's funny.
Pause. I hate the inclusive language of I eat a meal with my audience.
Yes.
No, you eat.
They are not eating the same meal.
You are simply eating in front of your audience. And if that's the case, everything is with your audience. And
I'm having a podcast with my audience.
It's this inclusive, like, caught language of just, we're all included in me eating food and saying it's robust and almost dropping a muffin.
This is a dinner for all of us. Dude, that muffin thing is one of the greatest. Oh, shit.
I look stupid. They say I look like I'm in pain when I eat. They like making fun of me, right?
When you say
you are in pain when you eat.
You do look like you're in pain when you eat.
Is
why is he bringing up detractor stuff? Because I don't see that in his. Who are his actual fans? The people like Derek, they're not going to say something like that.
I was about to say, you can't include Derek.
No. We got Derek, Jade, Emil, stuff
used
like
to be Rob on Wheels.
But the amount of notable DSP fans are very, very low.
Oh, yeah.
But who is saying, yeah, Phil, you look like you're in pain when you eat? No, that's pure detractor stuff. So why do your fans
saying something like that?
Snow Carl is 60-40 on his worst day. Most days it's like 80-20.
Mm-hmm.
To see me eat, I look stupid. They say I look like I'm in pain when I eat. They like making fun of me, right?
When you say the king,
you're still using the king moniker. I see.
Right, the king of hate.
Not the king of hate. That's the thing.
You can't finish. You said the garbage. I've been the king of hate all this time. Feasting with the king. In King of Hate vlogs, all this king stuff. It's like, you're still using king? Well, yeah, but it's not that king. Well, what is it the king of?
What are you the king of?
Retro. It's just the moniker at this point. So the moniker of the king of hate, he's this weasel crap. And I love that they call, because Adam doesn't know too much.
Yeah.
So he heard that he's just like, with the king, the thing that you abandoned because of racist connotations? And feel like to be like, well, yeah, but no.
How do Phil's fans react with his direct lives? He spouts some bullshit and they just go, the detractors.
Mm-hmm. They believe him.
Still using the king moniker.
They stick around.
I see.
Right, the king of hate.
not the king you hate. That's the thing.
It doesn't matter. You say the king, and that's what it was. So people are gonna make that connection.
You're 100% correct, and the thing is,
Hey, then drop it.
Yeah,
and then he had to drop it,
but he dropped it snidely. He's like, oh, people would say I'm not a hate king, but if you realize this all this time, why'd you keep that?
Because he didn't realize it all the time. He's just now realizing it after it's pointing out to him. It feels like Phil never truly understands anything that's going on in the world or the areas around him until it's point blank period explained to his face. And not in a way where somebody's in chat and he could just go, you idiot time.
No, this has to be, Phil is on the back foot here. So he's getting these things. He can't insult him. He can't just not address this. He has to say something. And what it is, I guess you're right.
Priscilla, I told you, once the stream ends, the scam bucks stop being in my mind. You have to remind me near the end of a stream so I can add that stuff.
No, it doesn't. He's thinking
about it. Try to fully phase it out. Feasting with the King and Ask the King are two leftover shows or events that I do that have the King moniker in them that I probably should try to phase out or rename. But
what is Ask the King now?
It's still Ask the King.
Then
his plan is to get to the 100th episode and then big rebrand. Hey, what about Feasting with the King?
I thought that changed too.
Yeah, no, but he wasn't like
Phil.
Yeah, he wasn't just like, no, we need to get to a milestone and then change it. He was just like, no, we just change it.
I mean, the series started 2 days ago. Like what milestone
it's been quite some time.
He probably has barely double-digit episodes of this.
Sure.
18 episodes, maybe.
But the willingness to just change it, like this is some big legacy thing. He's doing it every other month. He pushes it back sometimes. He's just like, I don't even, ain't no point of even doing it. So it's not even a big thing in his mind.
When you have things that have been running for so long, people actually have pushback. Like, don't change it. We love it. It's been like that for so long. Those are my.
Apparently, everybody gets scam bugs.
But you're right. I agree there. But anyway, no. Yes.
Hey, how about I change it? Don't change the subject, Phil. I'll look into it. Give them, hey, I'm going to do the thing you just said, and not, I just agree with it. Move on.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to reinvest,
What do you do to try your best to reinvest?
Hey, just reinvest. There is no
effort there.
There's no effort there.
Get money, and it's like, I'm trying to spend this, you guys, but I simply can't. That doesn't make any sense. You do the thing. You get your audience feedback. They say, hey, Phil, you should do this to better our experience and maybe better your gaming experience. Nah, Bills. No, but did you see the Pac-Man behind me? What?
Has Phil ever shown receipts? I think he's shown receipts to things like twice. And I don't mean like the big stuff. I mean to just things in general.
He showed the tire.
But that was already...
Yeah. But it was also the biggest bait. Furious. I hate that so much.
Well, like I
How?
Said, doing something above and beyond. I'm going to...
Above
That is not above and beyond. That is next to you. That is on the same line.
He basically hopped up on the curb and went, my walker just went above and beyond.
You're getting food and you're eating it. How is that above and what are you doing?
You are essentially taking a break on stream.
What effort is being expended by you? There's nothing.
Well, that doesn't cost any money though. Doing another stream, reacting. That's just making more money.
But correct, but then the ordering of a giant meal that normally I wouldn't order.
A giant meal.
Hey, that doesn't cost anything. That's just you eating. Yeah, but I eat a lot.
What would you be eating? What would you be doing if you weren't eating right there?
How is that?
Probably going downstairs to eat.
So just eating. You're paying for you eating, and you're going, I'm doing this for you guys. This is a special event for you guys. You're paying for me to eat something. And you pay me while I'm eating it as well.
Sound good?
Yeah, he's not killing himself eating for us, but he is in severe pain because he's got to have some omega sensitive teeth the way he be eating.
No, I'm talking ordering 2 entrees instead of getting DoorDash. You're talking.
No, nobody's asking
Nobody
you to do
asked that.
This
Nobody.
is your choice to do that. 2 entrees. Who's saying, all right, Phil, order all this stuff? You pull out your phone and you go, let's order some stuff.
That
And
looks
then,
good. That looks good. What do you guys think? Yeah, I guess we'll get both of them.
You're not taking all the suggestions for the audience of just going, buy this, buy this. There's no way that you could. You're buying what you want to eat. You're buying stuff that's just like, that don't look too good. So let me buy something that I know that I'm gonna like, just so I can have some food that I can eat in case I don't like that.
Chris, look at those arms, and you tell me if Phil likes working out or does work out.
Yeah, he can bust out 20 push-ups easy.
Did you see when he put his leg up when he had that shirt? I mean, he is twigging it.
It's scary. Him going, I got health issues. I'm like, I can see that, Phil.
Yes.
It's not a surprise to me that you got health issues with them bone thin ankles.
His head never looks like it should be on that body.
Yeah, his body is way too small.
$60 out of my pocket that I normally would not spend. You know, it's not budgeted, but because, you know.
Budgeted.
It absolutely is budgeted because you've got the event. The event used to be for memberships. So then memberships tie into the cost of whatever that you're doing there. It's not like, hey, that money's just gone. No, you guys paid for this event. So you pay for the things within the event. You're not going above and beyond. Let's just say he gets $500 for the memberships all up for the whatever React event.
Yes.
He's not spending $1,000. He's spending less than that $500. He's not expending anything, but he has to speak like he is.
Is there any event that Phil has done that you would say he has spent over $90 on?
I know he said one of the Feasting with the Kings was expensive. I think somebody priced it out as over 100.
What could you possibly?
With Cat and
yeah, she orders stuff. I'm talking strictly from him, but he shouldn't be allowed to piggyback off the money of the fan. You know what? It don't even matter.
We did the special event, and I hear what you're saying. What you're saying is, if you have these goals every day, where's the money going? Would you really like to know?
It's so frustrating. It's just so tiring.
Just, hey, I got something I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it.
He tries so hard to pivot into the things he thought he could explain, and it's just not working out for him. It's just not going.
Triton, if you think my $1.50 is going to fund this man's meals, well, you got another thing coming. You ain't seen his bountiful haul of DoorDash.
What you're saying is, if you have these goals every day, where's the money going? Would you really like to know? Do you really want?
It's not. Honestly, it's not that we are asking.
Pause. I hate the affirmation thing of just, you're asking me this thing. Would you really like to know? No, Phil, I wouldn't like to know. Next question.
It ties so much into that thing I hate that Phil does. It's just like, you ready for this? Like,
yes.
Just say the thing.
It's the kindergarten.
Don't prep me for it.
Hey, are you listening? Are you ready for this? It's like, what do you think the answer? And he constantly does that. And I hate it when he does it on stream because he'll be like, all right, I'm about to show this thing. Ready, guys? And he'll just show it. And it's like, are you asking, are they ready? Or are you just saying stuff?
I feel like the people out there that have been supporting you that now have turned against you because they feel you lied to them or you saw them as dollar signs and that's all that they were to you. It's like, I feel like they want to know most.
Well, then let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a minute, right?
So
there was a, you went through bankruptcy, right? Mm-hmm. And that's pretty public. You went through bankruptcy and there was this, the $5,000 business expense thing is talked about by your detractors quite a bit.
Now you see him nodding there. He recognizes it and he's nodding. He knows that there's $5,000 of business expenses out there. I just want to put that out there. because he later he's just like $5,000. What $5,000? He goes bankruptcy. It's out there. $5,000, and Phil is nodding
In
the
business
entire
expenses.
time. In business expenses. Phil is nodding the entire time.
Craig is essentially going, Phil, every year you spend $60,000
on pure business expenses.
Whatever your gaming business expenses are. What are those expenses? What are you spending $60,000 on?
Could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look, a month. You are a streamer who streams.
Still nodding. What could you spend $5,000 a month on? If that was me and you asked me, your expenses are like $3,000 a month. What's going on? I would not be nodding. I'd be like, the f are you talking about? He's nodding here, but later he's.
If I came to you and Chris, it was just like, "Hey, yo, it's $2,000 each this month." Like, what? Hey, hold on. What happened?
Schedule. You're active 12 hours a day doing this, right? And there's.
And by your own admission, you said like
he is still nodding.
Yeah. I'm here. I hear you guys. I'm with you. We're here. We're all here. We're
Man,
friends.
it has to be a legitimate money hat if he's spending $5,000 a month on it.
you didn't fix the set at all. It's been just a shoddy set for most of your.
You said this, Phil.
Over a decade of doing this.
Mm-hmm. Right. So there's this whole.
He doesn't buy consoles like that.
No.
He doesn't buy accessories like that.
He probably has to buy a console once every 4 years.
Let's say 6 games a month.
Mm-hmm. That's $300.
Where is this?
Well, let's just say $350, and a lot of those are just coming from Game Pass.
But he's just scamming the government, just going, my house is a business expense. What? I need to live here, don't I? So
I think you can take the cubic feet of the room you use as your office as a business expense, but you can't roll your mortgage
that's
into
the prevailing thing that I saw on Kiwi Farms.
I think you can do part of your internet and part of your electricity and part of those things, but you can't take the entirety of your yearly or monthly bill and roll it into a business expense.
And see, if he was on stream pulling and spending that money, that would be a business expense.
Yes.
He could write that off.
Yes.
But he ain't. So it's like, why don't you just do that? Because then he'd be like...
He'd have to admit everything he's done. Everybody would be able to see his roster.
Right. It'd be like, oh, I do have an addiction. And you would have to admit that weakness as well.
Phil could have had...
Dutch says, funny that the two scammers DA gave money to both committed perjury.
Phil,
who was the second one? Who am I giving money to? As a joke, as a very funny joke that would have been very funny. It would have been quoted all up and down this place.
What were we talking about right before that? Phil, business expenses. Oh, Phil had a golden opportunity when the Street Fighter game came out. He could have done it there. Use an entirely new name that he never used anywhere. Even if people are trying to search him out, who gives a every time he plays, he could have put it on the stream, and it would have kept him accountable for his roster. So he could always just go, you guys can see I only spent $2 here, $5 here, and it's all for the stream anyway. But no, them secret pools.
I could have sworn he did like a Mortal Kombat or Injustice mobile video.
Oh yeah, no, he was into Injustice, or he was into the wrestling game that was made by the Mortal Kombat team, and I think it was called Immortals, WWE Immortals.
So he's willing to do that. He's able to do that, but he would have to admit that weakness.
Your business expenses look like? I mean, I've done this for a long time. The business expenses are your initial cost of setting up your camera, your lights, and that's about it. And then after that, it's your cost is your time. Yeah, is your time, right? And so walk me through, what does that look like? What is it specifically? You know, there's this $5,000 business expense every month. So what is this?
Okay, so first of all,
He can't explain this.
Okay, Logan Paul. Well, I've explained myself. I'm not gonna repeat myself on that. I'm in the right. That drink was delicious. But yes, he is going back to this over and over again. We're here.
Talking about things that came out publicly during a bankruptcy proceeding, correct? And I believe that the $5,000 a month number came off of, I believe it's from a tax return. Is that correct? That it was filed or the data? I'm trying to remember exactly where it came from. You guys probably know more than me because you've been inundated.
Irrelevant where it came from.
Irrelevant.
You've acknowledged and accepted the fact that it's $5,000 a month. It is irrelevant about where it comes from. Yes, it came from the taxes. No, it didn't come from the taxes. What changes here? Explain that. Don't yes and no me.
But no, yes, not.
This for 2 weeks. Well, I'm so far removed from this.
I want to hear it from you.
I think.
I don't care what you wrote down. You lie. If you're gonna lie to government, you lie to the government because they might look over it. You know, judge, man, he got 50 things he's looking through. He's just like, yeah, cat. Here's taxes for some cat food, but he doesn't have a cat. Okay, yeah, whatever. Stamp. Move on. No,
let's get out
of here. You can lie to them. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Lie to me right now and let's hear what you got to say. Because I can question you right here and now.
Again, I'm just speculating. I think what happened was...
How do you speculate about your own expenses?
All that nodding to $5,000 bankruptcy stuff. $5,000 bankruptcy. Nod. I'm speculating on what that is.
If I had $5,000 and then at the end of the month I had $0,
I know where that was going.
I know where it went.
If I had $10,000 and half of that was gone, I know where it went to.
I bought this. I put a down payment on this. I ate this. I went out here. I would never in my life just go, hey, I don't know where $5,000 a month is going.
Amounts of money don't
if
just
$500 a month was going somewhere, I would know.
Like, hang on a second. What's going on here?
When I filed for bankruptcy, a lot of information goes public. And so they look at a public filing. I guess there's certain information that's made public. I don't think it's all your tax returns. I think it's like 1 year's worth or something. And I guess there was a number that was thrown out there that it looks like Phil spends $5,000 a month on business expenses. Now, number one, I don't do my own taxes. I have a tax guy to do it, pay him to do it.
Again, irrelevant.
You should know, having been here for 15 years, year to year, what your basic business expenses is so that you can budget properly. I know I've got a roughly $8,000 coming this month based upon my tips, the super chats, all that stuff. I got about $8,000 coming.
Yes.
I know I'm going to have to spend $5,000 and thus I will be left with $3,000. He takes account for, I got big bills coming on the 12th and whatnot. But what about what is considered to be a business expense? You should know this, especially considering you's a business major. Chris, it's just gone. He don't know.
He's speculating where $5,000 a month goes. Every month goes.
Every single month.
And it's not, you can't just say big bills because he puts down all the bills and what they cost. So he knows the amount of money that goes to bills. So there's an expedited extra amount of money that's not the business expenses just going somewhere.
I have a tax guy to do it. I pay him to do it. Okay. Here's what I can tell you. All right. I can tell you right now, because I'm working on it right now for this year. What are considered expenses that a tax attorney wants to know you're spending every month?
Irrelevant. Where is $5,000 a month going? I don't care what your tax attorney is looking for.
Well, you guys, I had $5,000 and it's gone. And that's basically what it is. He's talked about money coming and then it's already accounted for and gone out there in the ether for nebulous big bills. We talked about this off stream. I think we may have talked about this on stream as well. Mm-hmm. But the surplus of money that he got per month by not paying that other condo was about $1,500, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's in the exact same position with what is a lot of people's paycheck for 2 weeks. But he's in the exact same position. Worse in a lot of cases.
Somehow.
It don't make no sense.
Geez. Your mortgage, because if you work from home.
This is fraud, Phil. This is already fraud.
You should know exactly what the business expenses are counted for. Just in case they come a knocking at your door, you can't just point to your tax man and just go, I just gave him the stuff. You should know what's going on here.
If Phil gets audited, it's a rizzy rap.
What if he has to go to somebody else and they pull it up and he's like, oh, he's been doing this all kinds of wrong
for decades.
You've got to look over your shoulder, my guy. Then what? Then he could just be like, oh, my stupid tax man just did it wrong. Instead of just being proactive and at least looking it up, what constitutes
learning
a business
about
expense. Is he going to be under investigation? No, he's not a big enough fish.
Yes.
Worst case, he probably owes less than like $200,000.
He would he could get audited if it's just one of those random, hey, we're gonna look over your taxes things. That could be problematic, but the government just does that to anybody. Anything that's just like, oh, that's a bit suspicious. Let's look over that. And if you could just kind of sweet talk your way out of it, a lot of times I just go, okay. But
which is why Adam was just like, I don't care what your bankruptcy said. Tell me.
You said that like 200K isn't nutty.
Not for Phil.
Not for Phil. I can see a large business losing 5K just because of bloat and convoluted bureaucracy, but a single YouTuber losing 5K a month is just being brain dead.
It's just gone.
Like I can see a McDonald's in food waste for the month being 5K. Hey, people pulled off. Here's $13 worth of food that is going into the trash. You do that 3 shifts. You do that over the course of the day. We're talking $500 a day over 30 days. I could see eventually, hey, 5K in food waste for the month. I could see some shit like that. Oil that was used, that type of shit. But a YouTuber sitting down to play a video game that they may already own, that may already be part of the service they pay for. Why?
But who doesn't account for money coming? Who doesn't know their basic expenses? Back when I worked at Burger King, I'm just like, all right, we living at home, so I'm not paying anything there. But I know what I need to do to get to work. I know what happens if, my shoes are getting a little holey. I know that's probably going to be expensive. I know what roughly my monthly expenses are going to be based upon just working at Burger King.
Cable bill or something.
Yeah, my phone bill, stuff like that.
Oh, that's something I wanted to bring up earlier. Why does Phil have a smartphone?
I was going to say it's for GPS, but he's got a car.
And he has GPS in that car.
Rolling.
No, understandable.
that is always implied.
But that's what I'm saying. He could have a inexpensive flip phone just for the bare necessities of calling his wife and getting into contact with people. But Phil does not need a smartphone. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't buy nothing really.
I think he's fine with the smartphone. I'm not gonna get on him for the smartphone.
My whole thing is, if Phil is incapable of getting rid of that smartphone. Oh no, who won the jackpot? Jiva won the jackpot? Oh, Jesus Christ. 243K was in the jackpot. Goodness. Jesus Christ. How's it a scam? What did I do?
Somebody won.
Somebody won a thing absent of anything I did.
Geez. Your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but you cost your
Pause. How do you not sit down and look this man in the eye and go, what am I paying? What am I paying and why am I paying it?
Hey, what can I write off? How much of my house can I write off in my taxes?
Give me a layman's of what you're doing for me.
Explain it. Oh, Jesus! That just rolled 100 right after.
That's kind of a scam. That's kind of a scam.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Kind of. When you look at it like that.
Dude, somebody won the big slot and then somebody else came right after it.
Well, like 100. It's like, yeah, but...
all of your utility bills that apply to you operating the business.
Oh, no.
Look at Craig's face.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oh, I'll say, maybe we don't have this recorded because they looking at you.
You cannot write all of the electricity. Phil works, from what we can see, stream to stream. Phil works 2 hour pre-stream, 4 hour mainstream, 2 hour, 8 hours a day. Thank you for re-up and hope on the bum. 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day of internet and electricity maybe can be written off. You can't write the entirety of your bill off. That's not possible.
You would take that like, okay, 8 hours is a third of the day. You take your internet bill, a third of that goes to taxes. That makes sense.
BG, if you were Phil's accountant and he's probably disrespecting you on the daily, would you not be tempted to pay off your own debt and write it as a business expense? Phil wouldn't notice. I would be tempted to do a lot of things, but I feel like accountants could just be like, hey, I'm gonna slide $2 off of this person, $5 off of this person.
Easily. Especially with Phil's going, I don't know what he does, but he does it. Could we go back to Craig? Just look at Craig's face when he just goes, all the utilities.
You cost your mortgage, all of your utility bills that apply to you operating the business.
Hold on. Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff? I mean,
does that make sense, Phil?
There's
you
no
being a
here.
big businessman going, I own a business, I operate a business, all this stuff, and once you just go, where's this money going?
It's okay to be confused.
Yes, it is.
and like
Specifically, no, I don't. I give it all. I pay him a lot of money to a tax guy. I have a giant, spreadsheet of data that I provide. They work it out because every year it's different. I get to feel the tax laws change and stuff, and they figure it out. I give them all the data. In fact, just got an email from my tax guy the other day. He's like, we still need this data for you for this year's tax filings. We need how much do you pay for utilities? What's your cost of internet this year? What's this? They need all that information, and I got to get them to, and then they do it. So, here's the thing. All right,
completely hands off as a man that owns a business because you are taxed as a business. You just throw it to your accountant. Not what does Phil do in the, let's say he sleeps 6 hours a day. In the 10 hours he's awake where he's not gaming.
Well, he talked about that. He wakes up. Well, actually, Jasper wakes him up. Well, note that. Gets some breakfast, trolls through Twitter a little bit, sets up his stream, tears down the stream, talks to his wife a little bit, eats, build up the stream, tear down the stream, upload, spends a little bit of time with his wife, cycle repeats.
That sounds like 3 hours out of the 10.
That sounds like about 9 or 10 hours to me.
Everyone, we're really going to get to the meat of it, is this stupid WWE Champions bullshit, which I cannot wait to talk about it.
We'll get to that, but I want.
Yeah, no. We're going to get to that, but
you're not
stick here.
You're not moving
Phil.
off of this position because there's some bullshit happening.
We are here, Phil, and we've asked you to basically explain the 5,000, and you're just going, my mortgage, my internet and stuff.
Utilities.
And let's talk about WWE Champions now. It's like, do you think that you properly explained yourself, sir?
Do you think he rolls his water into that? Because you can't, what does water provide you for your stream, for your business?
He's taking whatever he can off the top.
I want to stay on this for a minute. Like, just once again, walk me through this, because, like,
yeah, Asmongold messed him up.
I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I'm trying to think through
while you're piecing it together, building that up. I just want to remind you, Phil, like you said at the beginning of this stream, you want this to be where people can go to finally, like, oh, you just go watch that video, right? I don't have to say it anymore. So like this, you said, like, what do we want to know? This isn't for us. This is for the people out there that are like, what?
And that's what it is. It's like
You
have the answers, Phil.
Nobody else has them.
You provide us these. Hey, what do you want to know about this? No, it's not about what we want to know. It's not about what you want to tell. It's about putting the answers out there. The things that need to be said.
So that if they're ever asked again, you could just go, here's that segment of the podcast where I explained it. You can look it over, decide for yourself, come back when you're done watching it.
About the $5,000 a month, so what about WWE Champions, which we'll get into, like, what about these things? So it's like, this is your chance to now say, all right, it was the freaking business expenses, whatever. I mean, it was the mortgage, it was this. I don't know if that's actually considered a tax write-off. I don't want you to get in trouble, but I don't know. It just feels.
No, I see. That's the thing. Again, when I went to that bankruptcy, oh my God, that was the craziest rigmarole. Because
real quick, you would think that after being screwed over by a tax man, going,
legitimately screwed to where he's still recovering.
You would think he'd be like, let me look into this a little bit to make sure that you're doing it right.
Please explain the process to me.
Let me get a second opinion. Let me break off $200-300 to have somebody else look over this stuff. If those numbers match up, then all right, you cool. But if they don't, we got to figure out which one of y'all wrong.
Somebody has a problem here.
my tax attorney, excuse me, not my tax attorney, I misspoke, my bankruptcy attorney.
That's a smart debating interview tactic that works against people.
Says, letting Phil explain himself should be labeled under some form of ableism.
Oh, no.
That's a smart debating interviewing tactic that works against people using whataboutisms and constantly changing topics, force them to stay on topic X and offer to discuss Y later because through the BS.
He thinks he's smarter. He thinks that he's craftier. He's just, and he also has a track that he wants to get on. So all those things combined just goes $5,000. Yeah, my mortgage. Yeah, my internet. Yeah, but let's talk about WWE Champions.
Never forget, Phil did not want an interview. He wanted a platform of which to explain himself, to spout bush and hope people accept it. He did not want to be grilled. He did not want to provide evidence of things. He wanted to provide what he wanted to provide and have people readily accept it.
And that's kind of what happened because I was just going through YouTube and went through old Mr. Huss stuff, and Phil had an interview podcast that he was on some 2013-14.
Yeah, that I never heard.
Never heard of.
Never heard about. Never heard it.
They were either very neutral and didn't know anything about Phil, or ex-fans at the very least, because there was very little pushback. They did detractor questions. And you just listen. If you just listen to it, you can hear the spiciness in Phil's voice. You can hear that he's up to like 70, 80. Where here he's down to like 30 or 40. Because he got nothing to gain from them.
Yes.
From here, it's just like, hey, these are potential friends.
Had no idea what they were getting into with me being a public persona. And there were things you can do, I guess, to protect from online harassment, which they did. I tried to explain. They didn't really understand who I was or whatever. And so when all that went public,
Phil's not allowed to cook.
The most
We've seen him.
drama-filled bankruptcy hearing ever. The judge was inundated with thousands of messages from my haters about stuff.
Pause. Prove that. You've got no evidence for that. You're just saying it.
And that doesn't. Who cares at that point?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect your bankruptcy. It doesn't affect your expenses.
I'm sorry, thousands of messages from haters? What, on Twitch? On YouTube?
So tired of this stupid shit.
On Twitter? Just like tweeting the judge or just going, hey, look at this look at this hour-long WWE thing. What messages is the judge getting?
But anyway, let me answer the question first, and then we can get to anything you want to talk about there. I would assume the expenses are including everything that I do. Okay, that's related to the business, and that could include mortgage.
Disgusting. He was, to put it in a word, scammed by a previous accountant, and he's just trusting this accountant completely blindly. Say that to a child. Hey, that kid in the blue shirt stole somebody's candy. And now give that other kid in the blue shirt your candy, and he's going to give it back. You think that kid is going to be like, yeah, I trust that? Or they're going to be like, oh, wait a second. I've been through this. I use blue shirts as a catch-all instead of just going racial thing. But if you want to, input whatever race you want in that to make it a little easier.
Any insurance that I'm paying that relates to the business, health insurance and or medical
insurance
costs.
related to the business.
I don't think you can roll health insurance into your expenses. I don't think that makes sense.
Business expenses, health insurance, is dental, is car insurance. You don't go anywhere for the business.
So the largest part of that business expense, if it is all of that, it's got to be the mortgage.
It is. It has to be.
It has to be the whatever. Let's just say $2,300 because I don't know what his mortgage is. Let's just say $2,300. The $2,300 mortgage. Probably even maybe some back taxes being rolled into it.
Maybe even car payment.
Legal costs. And
shut up, Corey.
Legal costs?
Of what?
You got $5,000 a month in legal costs?
And what does that have to do with your business?
Well, as my tax attorney, but also other attorney and things that I've been involved in over the.
What other attorney? What other attorney do you essentially have a retainer to where it's $5,000 a month?
Vagaries. So that he doesn't have to explain anything.
Did Phil take his most expensive month and just go, this is what I do?
That's what people think. But, hey, come here for answers. I've got a bunch of, my bills get rolled into health stuff, insurance stuff, legal stuff. What is that answer? What legal stuff can you wrap into business expenses?
Would Phil, if he had heard something about Keemstar and some stuff like this,
he'd be all over it.
Would Phil accept that type of answer from Keemstar? Then I can even think that's good enough.
Here's which maybe we will get into that today, or maybe we won't. I really can't talk too much about certain things. We'll get to that about identity theft and stuff. I know it's the first time I've ever.
What a pause. Big hands up, don't shoot energy.
Punch DSP, yes or no? No, because I'd go to prison because his jaw would shatter. He's such a frail man.
I wish no physical harm on Phil.
I wish Phil had the potential of reflection, but he doesn't. And so I just laugh at him. Like if Phil could reflect on himself, he would just be a sad man.
Yeah. If he just sat down and looked at his life and just go, ooh, this is rough.
This is rough stuff. I gotta get better. I gotta do
something.
Better.
Gotta change. Just sitting, because he knows that he wants to spend more time with Kat, but he can't do that. So he's
put into his mind that he can't do that.
He thinks that he can't do that because he needs that extra day of essentially $300.
Yes.
Otherwise, that's gonna completely ruin his business.
A single day, let's just say, with super chats and everything, he makes $360 that day.
That is of all the goals hit and everything, which doesn't happen all the time.
That $1,200 a month to spend more time with your wife. Eat the $1,200.
Just eat it.
Mention that, you guys. So, among other things, all the normal things in a month. Like I said, utilities and all of that. It adds it up. Here it is. Here's my tax return. All of a sudden, I'm being accused that was a lie or something. All right. Here's what I can say.
What's the $5,000 for? All my expenses and business expenses and tax attorney and now I'm being accused of lying. Phil, you didn't explain what the expenses were.
Your bankruptcy says that you have $5,000 of business expenses. Nodding head. Where does that business expense come from?
continue not mortgage.
I think it goes to the mortgage, utilities, health insurance, stuff like that. I don't know.
Because I'm not going to sit here and go back to a 2010 tax return and say, here's what my accountant said or whatever.
Right. This is from 2010. This is $5,000 a month.
Oh, excuse me. Did I say 2010? I meant 2020. That's totally my fault. I meant 2020. My bankruptcy was 2020.
Explain yourself, you baby! We can't ask him to do that.
Okay.
It ain't happening.
Here's what I know. Because of the amount of trolling that happened to me, this judge that was involved in the bankruptcy hearing was attacked online with so much shit. I had to go into
Paul, attacked. How do you attack a judge with information?
Judges preside over murders. You think they haven't gotten in threats and stuff?
It's essentially, hey, look at this a lot of times. If even that, because I don't necessarily believe you, Phil.
After meeting with both my bankruptcy attorney and this judge, hours of work. We went through line item by line item of all of my expenses. I had to explain to a judge who has no idea what live streaming is, the entire concept of being a live streamer.
Yeah, I feel like they would have asked that anyway, because you're going through bankruptcy.
You're getting the entirety of your money based upon live streaming. And so the judge doesn't know what live streaming is, but yet they're inundated with thousands of messages somehow.
They don't know what live streaming is, but he dismisses that they didn't understand how those business expenses don't make sense. The judge was smart enough to grant Phil the bankruptcy because they understood everything, but they didn't understand enough to know what Twitch and live streaming was. Make it make sense, Phil.
A civil war in the chat.
And showing every single expense and line item and rationalizing what it was to my business. This is
yes, that's what you do in a bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. What's this? All right, you got it.
I'm sure if they saw house, whatever. Okay, internet, whatever. Alligator farm. They'd be like, wait a second, what the? So yes, there are going to be questions of, I got $5,000 of business expenses. Here they all are. And you go line by line of just going, okay, here this is. Here, I see nothing wrong with that, Phil. Did you expect them to just look over the paper and just go, okay, got it, you good.
This, right? And it took so much work. At the end of the day, after all that extra work and time and money that had to be put into my bankruptcy, it went through. The judge understood.
The judge doesn't understand because they didn't even know what live streaming was. So if they see $5,000 in expenses, they're thinking, okay, video games, that sounds about right. Shrug shoulders.
Neo Arcadia says, Phil is legitimately alive due to internet nepotism from the way he explains himself.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Barely alive.
Dude on the top right has been glaring at Phil with the same expression for the entire stream. He's not believing a word coming from Phil.
Because it's unbelievable. And you just got to sit here and just accept. It's like, dang, man, this dude is just sitting here lying and just him going, this is about you coming here to explain everything. It's not about what we care about. You explain yourself. That's what you need to know. He's not explaining himself to a good degree. So the dude has to be like, explain yourself, you baby.
Showed them everything. If anyone should see line item by line item what my business expenses are, it should probably be the judge who's going to make a ruling on if I should be granted bankruptcy or not.
Then it had nothing to do with the people that sent all those messages and forced them to do it.
Yeah, why would the judge listen? Are you saying that there's something to be listened to, or is the judge stupid for listening to them? What are you saying about that judge?
Right, that's the government. A government representative, correct? They saw
you complain about the government all the time. You can't just say, oh, that's a government representative, so they must be in the right, when you cry about the government being wrong.
At all. They went through all of it, and at the end of the day, they said, this all makes sense, approved.
No, it doesn't not make sense.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's enough sense that makes here. But he's not talking about the fact that it had to be amended because he went, I got a cat. No, I ain't got a cat, but I do spend money on cat food every month.
How does that make sense? Oh, sorry. I gotta get you this back. I just saw it in this because I didn't know if the app was gonna work or not.
But in the vast majority of time, winners in bankruptcy experience like some sort of relief, right? Whatever the debt is that you were paying, it's gone, right? So why do you feel why do you have to go back to the well, going back to your audience, and ask your audience to crowdfund your content when you claim and you still say that nothing has really changed financially for you?
Great question. Thank you for asking it, because this is one of the ones I get hit with every day. We just talked about 2021 and what happened with Twitch. Okay, so the bankruptcy goes through around mid to late 2020. I'm relieved of all this revolving debt that I had in my name, but there's still debt that remains. There's still my mortgage. There's still my car payment. There's still...
Okay. Were you paying those debts beforehand?
Yes or no? 100%.
Okay, then. So even if there are still debts remaining,
you have money
that you are not so much less debt than what you were paying before. Like if you were paying, let's just say, in all your expenses, $7,000 a month on everything. If those debts get wiped out and now you're paying $4,000 a month,
there's money that's
there's
remaining.
$3,000 a month extra every month. That is not going to a bill or something.
And we're not even talking about that's right where the vet stream was.
Okay, he's talking. Phil Bray has become so warped to the point that he doesn't even know how to tell the truth anymore. By the way, what's up, Isaiah?
One for all. Volcal.
Oh my God!
Let's make sure. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super
Detroit Smash, whatever it says. Not today.
Yeah, I've seen Isaiah in the Discord a bit, but I was like, I'm gonna stream in a minute.
Yeah, Phil is
trash.
He believes his own hype and he doesn't get enough pushback, because the pushback that he does get, he just bans because he has that power to
or
do
it's
so.
detractors, it's idiots,
So he just
brain
looks at
dead
the
morons
that agree with him, and it just builds him up more and more.
This screenshot sums up the entire stream. Phil spinning some BS, doing on the top left, thinking through Phil's line, and doing on the right, imagining Phil getting strangled.
Taxes is a big thing, because for years there I was not able to pay my federal taxes properly, and
because your previous tax attorney wasn't good. Thank you for re-upping bum Isaiah. Because your tax attorney wasn't good, but now your tax attorney is good.
Pivot.
It'd be like if you called a cop because somebody broke in and the cop beat the shit out of you. So the next time somebody breaks in, you're like, I think I'm gonna call a cop. Like, maybe I'll look into who would be coming here. Can you not see an officer beat my ass?
You couldn't pay them, or you didn't prepare to pay them properly. There's a difference. Because
what?
Look at Phil's mouth.
Years there I was not able to pay my
Look at Phil's mouth
properly, and
you couldn't pay them, or you didn't prepare to pay them properly. There's a difference. Because
right there,
he did the Sandow jaw.
He's like, ooh, this is a hard question. You didn't pay him, or you didn't prepare to pay him.
What's the difference? Sorry, stream's having trouble.
I thought you said that you paid a guy to do your taxes.
I do, correct, to file the taxes.
Because I think the one thing that people need to understand is that you are acting as an independent contractor with YouTube and Twitch and whoever, right? So when you're paid, when somebody gives you $1 super chat, YouTube takes 30% of that, right? And so you get 70%. That 70% then needs to be taxed by Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam comes in and they take however much of that. So by the end of it, you could be getting anywhere between 50 cents of that or 35 cents of that, depending on what your revenue is for the year, and you're the tax brackets you're in. It sounds like, Phil, that you didn't necessarily plan accordingly for that, and you didn't save your money to ultimately pay. And if you have a tax person to do this, a CPA, which is for any online creator, that's like the number one expense is having a CPA to do your taxes. That's the number one thing, because going through and that's extremely important. But your tax, has your tax person ever came to you and said, hey, you should probably prepay your taxes. You should be paying quarterly instead of having one big lump sum at the end of the year? Because it seems really irresponsible for somebody who works online and has done so for 17 years to have a tax person who hasn't suggested that and haven't had you prepaid.
Do not, please. That my tax guy is great.
Okay.
Then why haven't they suggested this?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear the words I said.
No. He just picked up what he could reply to.
His constant nodding is annoying as
You can't look at Phil. You can't.
Is the dude on the top left Stuttering Craig from Old Screw Attack? Yes, that is Stuttering Craig from Screw Attack. That's why Phil got this interview, because he was big into Screw Attack and even went to one of their conventions once. And Stuttering Craig was one of the big people, so it's just like, I'm kind of cool with Screw Attack. I'm kind of cool with Craig. I know Craig will do me right, because he has been a friend of the industry for a long time.
Cut to a couple months later. Oh, he's the stupidest in person
I have never met a person as stupid as Stuttering Craig.
Great, Phil. Great.
As Phil replies to a Stuttering Craig parody account.
Great.
He, I have an estimate of what I should be paying, not even quarterly, monthly. Like, basically, can I make this monthly payment? And some months I can easily make it no problem, and other months I can't.
Why not?
Yeah, what? You had that monthly payment when you had an excess of another entire mortgage to pay, plus all your 13 credit cards, minimum payments. Let's say $400 a month. So we're at $2,100. You were paying that back when you had $2,100 less dollars. Bare minimum. Because I can't imagine he's paying $20 minimum payment when he's got those credit cards maxed out.
Their $2,200 credit card.
That's not $20 payment.
It's probably $80, $90,
But whatever
$100.
the case may be, you got extra money plus the same bill that you had back then. And you've got nothing to show for it. That Vestreak money is just gone.
And what's funny is the Vestreak money was less money than what his current tips goals are. Because his tips goals used to be $50. That's what he needed. That's what he wanted every stream, $50. Streak was doubling it.
$100.
So now the minimum he needs is $150 for some reason.
For a stream. For a 4-hour stream and for a 2-hour stream. This man wants to get paid $75 an hour for his stream, his late night stream, minus super chats, minus whatever YouTube revenue he gets from that.
Ad revenue and that type of thing.
He wants to get paid $75 an hour for his late night stream.
To play Chill Zelda Fun. And I went overtime and I didn't get anything for it. So it was basically worthless. Hey, how about you provided a bit more content to your fans?
Hey, maybe it's you that's the problem.
It's never it's never him. It's always the
external
game.
Forces.
This is a fun game. So why aren't people donating?
Steve the Dead talks about that. The guy that I recommended. Please watch him. It's like an external sphere of something or other. It's like going to a driver's test. He used this example of going to a driving test and just going, I failed because I wasn't in the right mindset. I missed that turn.
The
whatever.
car I used.
But then a narcissist would be like, that person had it out for me. This car sucks. If they would blame something outside of things, it's just like, this it's not my fault that I failed. It's this outside force's fault that I failed.
There's a player in the fighting game community that I used to play a lot, and I used to beat him a lot in tournaments. One time it was like, the monitor, it was different. I wasn't, it had the new patch and I wasn't ready for it. I was going through something. It was never just like, hey, you won.
Yeah, Jinx money is gone.
No.
It's been gone. Yeah. Not even talking about it.
Dunzo. We ain't got no time.
Already gone. What's the show for it? Nothing. Still barely making payments.
A dox is what was shown for it.
Ew. Do not condone.
I have to pay less, depending on the income that I made that month.
But Phil, if you could easily pay it some month, how much is your money swinging to where you're getting $7,000 one month and then $2,000 the next month? Mm-hmm. Your money is fairly consistent. Now, sometimes you'll get 1,200 less. Sometimes you'll get 1,200 more. But it's not like this big 7K swing.
And if it's the case where you make between, let's say, 6 to a good month, $9,000 a month, and your payments all total up to 550,000, not 550, 55K, not 55K, 5,500. Shouldn't you be like,
that was 5,500?
Really?
Yeah, 5,500 is 5,500.
Okay. It's hot.
It is hot. You getting that Phil brain?
But you make that 6,000, you go, yeah, I just barely made this. But if you know what you're just barely making, you should know what you make and what you got to spend.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I had to look at my work email for a second.
Your tax for that month is based, and your quarter and your year is based off of the revenue that you're making that month.
Oh. So basically you're paying 30% of your revenue, whatever that revenue is. Huh. So what's, oh no.
Where it go?
Phil not a happy boy. Him real not happy.
So if you make $10,000 that month, then you're going to be, then you prepay whatever, $2,000 in taxes, however much it is, right? So the money is already in your account. So why would you have trouble spending? Why would you have trouble with that? I'm really having a hard time following.
Doesn't make sense.
Because if you have the money, it's either being spent before it's time to pay taxes, or I don't know. I don't know. Please walk me through it.
Whew, okay. So
this is the perfect time to get into WWE Champions.
Streams. One revenue stream is very much
103. Y'all, summer sucks.
It's fine.
Summer sucks.
Daily income that I get from my
not.
Let's say. Okay, that's pretty much tips on a stream. The other revenue stream is the other income that I get from YouTube. That's ad revenue, super chats, membership.
Patreon.
Okay. Daily I get tips.
Patreon.
And that essentially is the money that I'm using day to day.
Liquidity.
To, pay some bills.
You got a bill
daily
every day.
Bills,
You got a bill every day, Phil.
Come on now.
In this house,
you can't expect mom to believe that.
In this house, I think we have a collective 4 bills. What bills are you? All right, you got your lights and your gas. You've got. I'm going through what Phil's bills could possibly be. You got your lights and your gas. You got your 2 internet lines. You've got your water. You've got your
phone.
You got your phone.
Insurance.
Your car note. Your car insurance. I'm thinking collectively, let's say he has 9 bills to pay. How does he have to pay a bill daily with 9 bills a month? You would think, okay, on the 1st, I have to pay these 3 bills. On the 12th, by the 12th, I have to pay these 2 bills. And then by the 21st, I have to pay the other 4 bills.
Unless he's literally just going. All right, my internet bill collectively was $300. This day I've got $100. I'm going to take 70 of that dollars, and I'm just going to pay $70 off of that bill,
and then the next day pay another $20.
So he's technically paying it every day.
Okay, but then when he gets that big YouTube 3 to 6K,
Isaiah Avila
already
says,
accounted for.
The way Phil plays video games says so much about his personal life. He wastes his meter, he burns through all of his health items, and does nothing to prepare for boss fights.
Nothing, and cries about it. How was I to know that a boss was coming up?
The man literally slides into Jury's low fireball and going, how did that hit me? He slid into it. The fireball was tickling the ground, and he slides into it as DJ, I believe.
I don't understand why that
I don't know
hit
how
me.
I got hit. I'm like,
it's not
you're
hard.
just complaining to complain at this point.
And then that fighting game dude, go ahead and run into the bathroom.
I was gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, sometimes you stop and just like, hey, let's. That fighting game dude that watched this footage, it was just like, Phil did some bad things, but it feels like, oh, I agree. I learned some things. He said I was a good fighting game player, which disproves you idiots that say I can't play fighting games. Shut the up, Phil. If you're just sliding into a low fireball and going, how did it hit me? You're not good. Well, I haven't played many video games, but even I'm better than that. It's not... With fighting games, there are clear things on the screen where you can go, I see what happened there. I see what I did wrong. This character's bull. Sometimes a character's just bullish. They have near infinite hit string. Sometimes a character is just bullish. But a lot of times you'll just go, oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong.
Oh, dang, I didn't even know that could hit me.
I didn't know that worked that way. Oh, that's a command grab?
Some like Sakura's fireball where it sort of dissipates. You go, all right, I spaced this properly, and it hits you. You go,
yeah.
I guess I didn't.
I guess they use the light one, which travels further, instead of the heavy one, which does more damage.
Go grocery shopping.
Daily grocery shopping, Phil. What could you possibly... Hey, remember when I said I went to the meat market like a month and a half ago, and that meat was probably going to last until the end of July? I mean, to the end of June? We ain't even touched the ribs. The ribs have not been touched.
Daily.
The chicken is still there. There's still chicken.
Daily groceries.
I spent $80
a day,
and the meat lasted over a month and still there. And there are times when I'll cook just 6 chickens for the week.
A new game for the stream coming up, all that kind of stuff. The YouTube money that comes in behind the scenes is what I use to do all my ongoing recurring payments, my mortgage, my car, health insurance payment, or whatever. So what are the bills? So the mortgage is not part of it. Health insurance is not part of it. Probably card notes not part of it. That's all the YouTube money. So what are these daily bills he's talking about?
He said it. Groceries.
Okay.
Buying games.
Daily bill.
Buying games.
But he doesn't buy a game every day.
Maybe get a Hogan every now and again.
No, I did many a time
spicy,
again.
Get a little Hogan.
Here's what's happened, okay? The bankruptcy happens. Great. End of 2020, things are looking up. I'm actually getting more popular on Twitch. I'm starting to make good money. I announced to my audience in early 2021.
What do you mean? Wait, you're starting to make good money? As if you weren't before?
As if you're currently not?
Come on now, Phil.
He just had a pseudo vest streak that happened. Didn't he just this past DSP make like $800 in tip or something?
In his last big event thing, he got like $1,100 or something like that.
Imagine doing a stream and just getting $1,100 and going, I'm not making good money.
Oh yeah, see, he makes well over $100K a year.
He has a lot of errands to run. Ain't no errands in the world.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. You guys are supporting me so much. The bankruptcy went through. It's looking like if you keep this going this year, not only for the first year in many years, because now the bankruptcy's over with, now I can pay all my taxes properly for the first time in a long time. Because, my problem is we have that much debt and everything. You can't, I couldn't do it.
You should have been able to do it anyway once that debt was cleared.
Yeah.
Because you're still, even if you're making the same amount of money, so much less money is going out. Even if you make $4K a month, if $33K are going to debt, or 4K a month, and $3,300 is going to debts, and then all of a sudden you're spending $1,700 on debts. Well, you should be able to pay other things more properly now, huh? No. It seems like a man who lives too lavishly despite any financial or life situation. He doesn't adjust to his income. He wants the income to adjust for his expenses. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, he doesn't really have expenses like that. It's purely his addictions.
Because when his TV broke down, he's like, I got maybe $200 or $300 to spend on that. And then somebody broke out $400-$500 for him. And he was like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's put this on a payment plan.
People were like, hey, here, Phil, here's money for a computer. They ain't get no computer.
An idiot. Hey, double time with the stupid computer stuff. Review Tech USA. Hey, here's a computer. No. Hey, somebody just goes, hey, Phil, I'm going to finance you a computer right here and right now. Just let's pick out some parts. And he goes, no, I'm playing Elden Ring. So let's do it after that. No, you get that right now and you have it.
And guess what? He ain't got a new computer.
He does have a financial advisor. He just trusts them and not really. It's an accountant that he just gives his tax stuff to. He's not getting a financial.
He put the TV on a payment.
Oh yeah, plan. Absolutely. And he pocketed that money. So he paid. I think he paid like $100 up front, and he paid $50 or $100 a month, and then he just pocketed the rest of that.
Are you disgusting?
I don't know how that person could be cool with that. Because it's like you're paying it over time. What are you doing with the money that I just gave you, sir?
It's going to bills, idiot.
That ain't what I gave it to you for. Well, you're not you can't tell me what to put my money towards.
Anyone offers me that, I'm dropping everything. If somebody was just like, hey y'all, we're gonna get you a new computer. ALX, new computer. No, we're streaming right now. Talk to us after the stream. We would stream us doing the part picking.
No, I don't do it right here, right now. Somebody,
if you can stream picking food, how can you not stream picking PC parts?
And he knows that his fans have the means and they're willing to do so because they have before with the whole new TV. Xbox, PS5, all this stuff was just given
a Series X given to him.
Just given to him. And you know that the people are willing to do that. So you take it, you have it, and then later you put it together or whatever. Or you make sure that you have it. You don't be like, nah, we'll worry about that later. You get it.
Thanks for re-upping to the bombs, Don.
14 months, my goodness.
Has it
been that long?
Wow, it's been that long, huh? I need to put more content behind our paywall. Yeah, this is disgusting. Phil sucks, y'all. Why did the stupid get such luck? I no clue. It's the lack of embarrassment and it's the lack of like scruples.
It's the straight face, give me money.
Yes.
Because I could
I would be so ashamed.
Just coming here Saturday, just going, all right, you guys.
We just need
it up. Let's go. Empty them pockets. But he does this 6 days a week, 2 times a day of, if you want to support me, tips, super chat, all this stuff.
Guys, we're having a good time, but support's so slow. If you could just please, a like, a super chat,
a man begging for likes and then private It's crazy.
It doesn't help your algorithm.
No, it helps that stream, and then it's gone.
He's stupid.
But you think he's so smart.
Financial ruin. All right, 2021, things are looking up. And then what happens? They get me kicked out of the Twitch partner program. They shut down other revenue streams for me that I can't really talk about. Later on...
Can't really talk about what?
Sponsorships, I guess. Potential sponsorships.
Why can't he talk about it?
Yeah, why can't you talk about it?
How much less is he making on YouTube than Twitch? If he's going, they shut down my Twitch. It's like, okay, was that a big enough revenue source that it's hurting you?
I would assume more so the bits. The bits were flying a lot more than super chat because bits are, and you got your Twitch Prime.
Them. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is probably, he's probably making, let's just say $1,100 less a month on YouTube than he was on Twitch. That sounds about fair.
Plus, he could double dip with the ads on Twitch and then
bring it over to YouTube. I still remember when he called his audience lazy. That was what made me a detractor. It was like, all right, no more excuses. People are just too lazy to tune in.
Tooth and lazy. All right, wow, we don't even have 400 people. What happened?
And Phil will be like, I just bought Kat a new Xbox.
She rocked up, got a tax return. It was just like, yeah, she got a new PS5. I was like,
bitch, you struggling.
We all struggling here. I'm up here putting out big tweets daily.
You see them?
I wish we could go back to the big tweet days.
Oh,
because
there was one recently.
I know. But just the almost daily of swing by.
Swing by was the greatest.
Because he just swing by. Swing by. And he always had a formula to the bag tweets. I'm here. We're doing this.
Yes, we're currently.
Swing by. Appreciation.
Opening line. It's a 3-act structure.
And it was constantly like, you could chart that. Hey, y'all, we out here playing Crash Bandicoot. I just got all these peaches or whatever, but support has been slow.
So if you can.
Swing by, thank you.
Any help is appreciated. Thank you.
Go to his Twitter and search swing by. Look up 5 tweets and they will all have that formula of, hello, here's what we're doing. Issue swing by appreciation. They all went like that. It was a template of, hey all.
It was a Mad Libs.
But the mob had to just do that almost daily.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't imagine.
Phil doesn't invest in his business. No, he doesn't. He feels like he doesn't have the funds to invest in his business. When he's spending, weekly, several hundred on Hogan's.
Allegedly.
Weekly, allegedly. 700 on Hogan.
Allegedly.
What could it possibly take for that allegedly to be donezo?
Like I said, I don't believe Phil at all. I told you, if he said, I did the masturbation thing on purpose, I'd be like, I don't believe you. And then the next day, go, okay, guys, it actually was an accident. I'm like, I don't believe you.
He lost all trust.
I don't believe him. He could pull out his phone and just scroll. I'm just like, I don't know. There's something there.
Did he buy that account?
Your identity theft, which we might get today. I don't know if we'll talk about that. That's a huge one. Identity theft.
No.
You clearly wanted to, because you keep talking about this. You clearly, because he got it. He's got that.
Yeah, he's got the bullet points.
Here's a good bit of sympathy. Here's what they did to me. They stole my identity.
Okay,
so that's a good.
What did they do with that stolen identity, Phil? Did they open a new credit card? Mm. Did they get into your bank account and steal your money and transfer it over to them?
And that's the thing. He's told so many different stories about that. He blocked them from getting in. They got in and tried to steal money. They got in and actively stole money. They got in, but he stopped it as he got an alert. He's told so many stories about this.
On that, your identity theft, which we might get today. I don't know if we'll talk about that. That's a huge one. Identity
you clearly
theft.
Want to talk about it.
He's done. He's done.
Out of hour 40 in, just like, oh, this guy is filth.
He's done. He's just like, you want to talk about that. So that's your track.
See, I honestly believe that some accounts do get rigged, so the people that are dolphins or whales are more inclined to spend. Because people will go into their side account, their secondary account, which is newer, and they'll do the exact same thing and get much better rewards. So I honestly believe some companies do tip the scales just a smidge.
You see that this person is willing to spend money. If they don't get the things they want by doing it free to play,
they will spend the money.
So
let's make it less likely they get the thing for free.
We'll get there.
Yeah. It cost me so much money to fix the identity theft thing.
How much money did it cost?
So much.
$1,200.
So much. That's your answer?
You needed to open a new account. You needed to make sure they're not opening things in your name. So you need a lawyer. You need police.
No police. You didn't call the police.
You need a lawyer. And I guess just calling some people. $1,200.
So now I went from I'm good to, I immediately have lost the revenue stream from Twitch. I have to go to YouTube. I'm making way less money on YouTube now.
How much less?
Yeah.
You say
way less.
I mean, to somebody making $10,000, $8,000 can be way less, but that's still a very good amount of money. So how much less are you making over there?
I was on Twitch. All that money that was going to make everything even. I'm good to go now.
Phil, I like that.
I'm way reduced income again. So you're right. As it adjust now, nothing else adjusted. My mortgage still exists. My car still exists. All those regular expenses still exist, and now I'm making way less. So this is a running pattern, and I hate it.
He's making way less, but he's also making just as much because the money that he would have gotten, let's just say, I think he had roughly around 900 memberships was where he was over there. But his tips goals was 100.
Yeah.
So now he's getting $100. He wants $100 more. And sometimes he does get that $100 more per day. So doesn't that sort of...
But again, even though you're making less money, you're also spending less money because you have less debts to pay.
Overall. So shouldn't that even out?
You should be in the exact same position you were pre the bankruptcy. Not in such a worse position.
Every time in life I feel like I'm getting ahead, something happens.
I'm
serious. It's
trolls.
Like a comedy of errors.
But once again, Phil, then why not remove all that shit and just do something different? I'm not telling you what to do, but like if you keep running into a wall, eventually you need to take a different direction, right? And like I love that you love what you're doing right now, but if you're still struggling with this so immensely, at a certain point, don't you need to like self-reflect and say like, look, man, I'm running into this wall fucking 5 times. I should probably not be doing this or change my approach to it.
I hear you, and like I said, I had that conversation with my mom in 2019. About
hey, are you doing it, or are you just talking about doing it?
We're running out of time on that 10-year plan.
5 years or so.
Changing it and not be beholden to people, do something different with my life. I mean, yeah, let's be honest. A major factor is money. Have to be honest here, right? That's what this is about. I'm going to be transparent.
Major factor. It sounds like it is the factor. I mean, it sounds.
What else could it possibly be?
If Phil was making, what is the amount of money Phil would need to be making to be good in your mind?
Let's say he's making 130. It'd have to be 180, 200.
But would he just spend more on the Hogans?
Yeah, but he would have more to spend.
Yeah, but that's the problem. It seems like no matter how much money he has coming in, he always pulls just enough to where he's good for the month on everything else.
Again, let's just say his monthly expenses are $5,500, and he makes $6,000. That extra $500, that's going to be split between Jasper, groceries, Hogan's, whatever. But I don't think that he would spend. Hogan's. I don't think that if he had an additional $5,000 a month, he would spend $5,000 on Hogan's.
I think he would spend $4,000 on Hogan.
I don't think he would spend $4,000.
He did that vet streak and then immediately spent $1,100 on Hogan's.
I understand. But that was consistent. Where am I going with this?
Yes. Where are you going with this? What are Hogan's? Hogan's are essentially just the way we say he's pulling cards in WWE Champions. He's pulling heroes and wrestlers in WWE Champions.
But Hulk Hogan was the big get at the time.
And it's his favorite wrestler. So it's everything he's doing is quote unquote for Hogan.
So yeah, when we say pulling Hogan's or talk about Hogan's or whatever, just substitute that with WWE Champions.
Current event wrestler and WWE Champion.
But Hogan's is funnier to just say.
It's just
it rolls off the tongue.
The event wrestler. Like it's not he's pulling Hogan. spending all money on these Hogans if it ain't 6 stars. If it ain't 6 stars. God, the songs are so great.
They're so fun.
Just
and then you look at his songs. Dan, dan, hobos are dogs. They essentially just take him singing and put it to a beat. When these muffs are taking words and making their own songs sometimes with their
Italian tips.
I'm half kind of European mix. European style, Asian fusion style, tips, greasy hair. It's fun is what it is.
It's so fun.
I'll just sit there just like, oh, that was a bad call at work. Let me put on an Italian wife. It's a good song. And it makes me smile because it's fun. And you can hear the effort that's being put into it.
If Phil was in a better standing with detractors and could laugh at himself, he should be asking Meerkat, can I use your song?
That being said, is the podcast I talked about a lot, but they had a DSP song contest. They got like 30, 40 entrants. Good bit of them were very good.
Was it any better than the E-Rock song contest?
Yes.
Okay. Because I love the E-Rock song.
They also did what they call a tournament, where they did who could recreate DSP's Project 7 turnaround the best. It was hilarious.
No.
I was dying at some of them.
Yes, people do know too much about us.
Yeah. But we say a lot. Because we're brothers, we'll just go, oh, freaking Pop-Tarts or something like that, and we'll just say that. And that'll just be out there in the ether. And sometimes we talk about pee and feet and stuff like that. And
it was a one-time thing, and somehow it is a complete meme.
It was not a one-time thing. That was like a 30, 40-minute conversation.
But it was a one-time 30-minute, 40.
But you were calling people. So that's kind of...
I called a person.
You called Mike. You called Pro. You called Brittany.
No. I called Julian. My friend Julian.
You called people. That's a big thing.
Yes, I did call people. And Jill was in our group chat like, yo, if he calls, don't answer. Don't do it. It's a trap. I do not love feet. Dude. There's no greater mistake on my part than letting people know that.
Never let them know your weaknesses.
Never let anybody know. Friends just will text me that. These moms will just DM me feet. Every time feet comes up in the Discord, they at me. Never.
Coming in instead of saving and preparing for the next month, where it might not be as...
That was the one time! Alright? Shut up! I can't look at that picture!
I'm sure you love that picture.
I do,
but it's.
But my eyes always go.
Why not just Photoshop out the hand?
But then I'd have to go back and Photoshop the stanky leg out of the Mario picture.
You were cool with that picture until I said that. You should be fine. It doesn't matter what you say. I've already said it.
What's with your leg?
Well, it look like one of your legs are smaller than the other. Wait, let me see that.
I'm going to be transparent.
Major factor. I mean, it sounds like it is the factor. I mean, it sounds like you're just spending the money as it coming in instead of saving and preparing for the next month, where it might not be as profitable, so that you could be like, I'm saving. Maybe I'm not going to buy that new game. Maybe
I would have loved Phil to give an itemized receipt of everything he spends daily with these tips. Because
I wish we would do that list.
It wouldn't be the big bills like the mortgage, because that's the YouTube stuff. Mm-hmm. What are these daily tips going to?
I wish we would have at least got through that list of just lies or whatever, because we just got cut off a little into it.
Even though it's probably a write-off because you're doing it for a business, it doesn't matter.
Oh, no, the
Discord. It seems like you just gotta start saving money. Maybe be a little smarter.
Don, that's exactly what the thing is. Those things are purposefully addictive. They are. Here comes that thing that you got. Yeah, that's good, but here's the newer thing, the better thing.
It's stronger,
and you need it for this event. You can do the event, but you can do the event better with this one.
Yep.
And then in the case of DBZ, it's just like, hey, I like short hair Videl. I would like to have her, just as the collective thing. So it is purposefully done.
When I was heavy into WWE Supercard, I bought a $20 pack once, and I didn't buy anything else. Not a $20 pack, but the $20 credits pack. And then they were like 6 weeks later, hey, another $20 to get double it. Hey, that's a bargain.
It's $20. You know, every month, One Piece Treasure Cruise had a big gem pack of just, it was $8. You got like 20 gems up front, and then every day you got like 3 or 4 gems. So it's like, a lot of gems that you can get for $8.
Oh, it's kind of like the battle pass or Animation Throwdown does that, where you spend $10 and for the month you get 80 gems and a lot more gigawatts or whatever, and that type of thing. Giggity watts, they call it. But I have never had a problem with spending in mobile as long as A, you have the means to do so, and B, you're spending based on the enjoyment and time you spend on the thing.
Mm-hmm. If it's worth it to you, you can't tell anybody that.
Yes.
It's like, but Phil has an issue where he's not admitting it.
Yes.
Don't look at the Discord. Just stay away from that for a little while. You're good. It is exactly what you expect.
Yep.
To like lecture you.
If I had an OnlyFans, I'd say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why would I
look
care?
at her. Auga.
But
I don't. I won't.
I had a friend of mine DM me recently, just like, "Hey, I'm starting an OnlyFans, support it." I was like, maybe I'll just support her OnlyFans.
Yeah, get them numbers up. Make it look good.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a. But most of the you want to see is free anyway,
Yeah,
so
I don't care.
I'd only do an OnlyFans to support someone I like.
I've talked about me being membership to a bunch of VTubers. I've said that because I do that. I got no problem sharing what I do.
Yeah.
Ask me a question, I'll let you know. But OnlyFans, I ain't paying to look at no girl booty. Come on
There's
now.
free booty everywhere.
It's the freest booty. Even behind the paywall, you can find it online. It would purely be to support this person.
Yes.
I ain't trying to support some e-girl.
Some rando
e-girl.
But if it was an e-girl whose stream I spent 50 hours a month on, and it's just like, hey, I got an OnlyFans, $20, whatever. I wouldn't give a
Buster says, feet pics, yeah, support, sure.
Yeah, okay. You'd have to torture me to get me to admit I pay for VTubers. Like balls in a vice grip type.
Well, okay, that just tells me you do it, but you don't want to admit it. You said you would have to pay to admit it. Cook. Okay, we got you. I see where you is.
No, you're right. But it seems like you need it. So yeah.
It seems like you need it. No, it doesn't. He's saying he needs it. But based on everything we've seen, it doesn't look like he needs it. He don't drive nowhere, so that car maintenance is nothing.
He just started putting stuff up behind him, but again, this is nothing that he spent money on. These are things that he were either donated to him or things that he bought a long time ago.
One True King says, there's free booty everywhere. BG 2023.
Comboed into my line of I ain't paying to look at some booty. Free booty everywhere.
If Phil was an e-girl, thank you for the mental image.
Oof.
Oh, with the blush and doing all the cutesy stuff.
I've seen some of those face swaps where it's not a good looking girl. He doesn't strike a good figure.
I need what I need. And I've said this before. I'll just say that.
Sure, Phil.
I need like a year, and here's what I mean by that. I need 1 year to make content and not have my trolls fuck with my income.
Your income is not being with now.
How are they messing with your income right now? He must mean get sponsorships and stuff like that without them. But he's already talked about him going up to sponsorships and him getting the sponsorships and him going, I will accept the sponsorship, but just know that I got trolls and stuff. No, you get their money, they get trolled. What are they gonna do? Take their money back? They can't do that.
Or he'll go, I get sponsorships all the time. I don't do those. He poo-poos sponsorship. Or he'll say, I'll only do a sponsorship if I can talk honestly about it. Mother, you are a broke boy. At some point, you have to let go of your pride and just accept the you got to deal with to make your money.
It's a seesaw where the in pride is all the way up at the top and the money's down at the bottom. That stuff got to level out. But it doesn't have to go with the money being up top and then the pride being down there, where you're talking about, hey, you know, when you see those
buy my
tweets,
Bitcoin.
I was talking about the viral tweets where you will just go down there and see like, hey, here's a vibrator or whatever on a funny cat video or something. It's like that's just like, that's nuts. But just going, hey guys, this stream has been brought to you by Raycons. I like Raycons, even though it oozes up my ears. Oh, I can't say that. It may ooze up some people's ears. Is that acceptable? But you gotta pull that back and just go, look, I need money. These people have money.
They're willing to give me money.
2 minutes out of my 4-hour stream is worth me saying eat Pringles.
Instead of playing the midstream music, just go, all right, we're doing some ads from some sponsored stuff.
Do a produced thing. 2 minutes. Hey, here's whatever. Edit it. 2 minutes in, out.
Why does the pride of Phil stop at begging for money?
What fans of his would just be like, ugh, Casper mattress, Phil, what are you doing? All this time that you're begging and stuff, surely they realize that Phil is hard up for money. So I'm going to sit here and watch him talk about Raycon or Erase Shadow Legends for 2 minutes if it helps his pocket a little bit, because I can't donate. Derek doesn't donate. But Derek would be like, all right, whatever. I don't donate, but Phil needs money. Here's the way that Phil gets money that's morally acceptable.
It's a product he likes or a product he uses. Cool.
Even if it's not a product that he likes or uses, I might find value in that. Phil has no reason for a VPN, but I do.
It's never going to happen.
I agree with you. I now agree with you. I know that now. But that's what's happened is every time something happens, that screws my income again. Well, wait, here we go. I worked my ass off. I changed who I am. I'm a different kind of content.
What are you talking about?
How are you changed? How are you different?
What are you talking about? Give an example instead of just going every time this happens. Oh, here's this vague, I've changed who I am. I'm different now. And then here they come with a knife. What's going on here?
All the things that they had issue with me. This is why they do it to me, right there. We don't like Phil for this. Okay, I'll change all of that. No.
What did you change?
What did you change?
What did people not like? Oh, I thank you, Dutch, for re-upping and being a bum. I guess in camera and now it's live capture. I guess he's streaming, doing react content.
It took so much arm twisting though.
And again, by the time you do that stuff, a lot of the people that wanted you to do that stuff has moved on. They no longer care. Still doesn't have a green screen. Bought a green screen.
Actively refuses to implement it.
Buster says,
bought it and threw that away.
Something that will get you clipped.
No, why? I'm not a clip machine where you guys just throw it and just go like, hey, look at D what DA said out of context. Let's point and laugh at him. No. I've changed. I've grown, and you guys are trying to pull me back into that. You guys are give me a year, all right?
Just a year of not clipping me, okay?
Still do it anyway. Ruin his income.
So why change? Why change? What's the point? It's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were and that you are or whatever, instead of like trying to like adhere to people on the internet? Because the people on the internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point?
Pause. I don't remember what he said, but here's what he should say. Here's a perfect answer to this.
Dutch
I didn't
says,
like.
Hey, can you answer my Hitler joke question? _bust, _bust.
Here's a perfect what he should say. I didn't like who I was back there. I'm changing for myself, and hopefully that comes across to the audience to make them feel more comfortable, more safe, more accepted. Instead of me just going, comedy is a big sphere. I was just going sexual jokes and race jokes back there. That stuff gets old. I'm trying to advance further than this. So why am I changing? I'm changing for me to become a better person, to become a better content creator. If people enjoy that, then they're going to enjoy it, but it's simply for me. Now, the Hitler joke. I don't remember the Hitler thing. I don't remember what it was, but I'd be willing to answer it honestly and openly. Should it come across my desk?
Never forget, two traumatized lesbians finding each other. That's not my genre. Or the legendary Hitler was iconic.
Okay, it's not my genre. Okay, It's fine for me to not say that that's my genre. I don't like mech. That's not my genre. So two traumatized lesbians finding each other. It's simply not my genre. Hitler is iconic. I stand by that to this day. Fight me on it. All right, pull up the definition of iconic, and you tell me Hitler in that.
DA's fighting for Hitler.
I'm fighting for Hitler's iconic status. That was too clean. There's your clip. You sackish.
It was about if Hitler said what he did. He did as joke, would that be fine?
I said what I said. I said you don't want to hear the answer to my question. To that question. You don't want to hear it. All right?
People on the internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
I agree.
I'm fighting for Hitler's iconic status. Neo-Nazi 2023.
I'm gonna be 60 and I'm gonna be just trolling through old discourse and stuff, and I'm just hearing. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm fighting clean, no background noise, no fireworks, nothing. I'm fighting for Hitler's iconic status.
Alfonso Rodriguez
What
says,
have I done?
Is Harrison worse than Hitler?
Oh, we had the discussion.
I've had that discussion.
I was on the podcast of stuff.
The argument could be made.
And that was the problem of it.
The argument could be made.
Haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. At the same time, I feel like that a lot of the changes have been very productive. I like I said, now I love what I do for a living. I didn't before. I do.
Did he just hit you with the lol? Did this sackage hit you with the lol?
That is unbelievable.
I think we're going to have to revisit one of them videos.
That is unbelievable. I just opened it up, back up, and it was just feet. So I had to get off of that Discord.
I actually genuinely want to be here every day with my audience. It's fun. I wake up in the morning energized, ready to go. I used to wake up in the morning like, oh, I got to go play games and film again. That was a horrible mentality. Who wants, I treated it like any other job. Now I love it for the last 4 or 5 years.
What changed? Oh, I gotta play video games, but now you love it again?
Simply not my genre. Hitler is iconic. Isn't that simply not my genre? Hitler is iconic.
Is iconic.
But, I hear you. But yeah, if I were to quit YouTube, let's say right now.
Pause.
That's not the question.
That's not the question. Why change? Why change if it don't matter? I like what I do. If I was to leave YouTube, hang on. Where are you? Where are we?
Turkey. I quit YouTube. I can't find a job out there that's going to pay what I'm doing now.
So it is about the money.
Yes, it always will be.
That's number one.
But if it's about the money, you gotta let go of your I'm not gonna do for money.
You need money. The money is out there that you can get in a moral way that in 50% of the other YouTubers are doing, and people don't have a problem with it.
I am a single dude with no children. I can spend 4, 5, 6 months without a job learning web development. If I had a family, I would have been working because I need to get money for my family. You have a family, Phil. If they have any struggles, if there are any struggles in that household that you can fix simply by doing a Raycon sponsorship,
make it better.
Do the sponsorship. Do the sponsorship so you can go on your honeymoon.
In addition to that, there's always the fact that I've been out of the job market for a decade. Who's going to hire a 40-year-old guy that hasn't done anything besides, operate an online streaming business for 10 years?
Nobody with that attitude, though. So
he was finished.
Mm-hmm. You can't just go.
He was done with Phil.
You've already given up. Who's gonna hire me? People are gonna hire you if you sell yourself the right way. I've managed the business. I speak to people on a daily basis. Whatever.
You're built a large following.
You're not gonna be a CEO, but if you can spin what you've done into
middle management,
you can do that.
A social media manager, the head of social media management.
I work at an IT call center, and when they interviewed me, they said, this job is 70% customer service, 30% IT. It's all about just how you talk to people. So most jobs, if you look at an IT job, you just go, oh, that's IT. No, it's like, no, this is something different. You need another skill.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's me. I got to do customer service sometimes.
So my 10 years of Burger King experience of customer service transfers over to my IT job. Even though it doesn't directly transfer over, there are transferable skills. So if you can point to this and just go, look at this. I've managed this YouTube for 15 years. Daily, something to be said there. Again, you're not gonna be King Honcho Helicopter Man.
Yeah, no, Dunzo, that's dead.
But you gonna get a $60K a year job, and then you work your way up.
And that's a job that is stable. You will always make that amount,
and it puts you in a position for the future, because now you're just like, I don't have a future because who's going to hire me? No, once you get your foot in the door, it's just like, okay, now I'm starting to get work experience in this field, and it's going to carry into later things where you can potentially get more money.
I just built a website, y'all, and that's going to carry into my next job because that pay bump is going to be disgusting.
But this bastard don't understand that.
He just admitted to losing $5K. He's never becoming a manager, finance position, or anything even remotely corporate. Hey, billionaires lose money every day.
Trump declared bankruptcy like 8 times.
It seems like you're
being a social media manager would be dope. A lot of companies need people to push their product. Phil is truly lazy. I have a friend who's a social media manager. She loves doing it. Loves it.
There are a lot of work from home tech type things.
That's what my previous job was.
Transferable stuff, but he just doesn't want to.
Phil could truly do a remote job 8 to 4. Get off at 4. Eat, wash up, whatever he wants to do. Stream for 5 hours at night. He's losing 3 hours of streaming, but he's probably making roughly the same amount of money he would have been from streaming. Plus, he has an additional revenue source from his 8 to 4 remote job.
You're already defeated. Not even worth trying. So you're putting yourself in this hamster.
Phil drinking water just reminded me. I was at work yesterday. These mothers just popped a question on me. Mouth full of water. It was just like, how do you feel about that? Oh. And I had to go and just swallow like 3 big gulps of water. It just reminded me because he's asking Phil something right as he gets a sip. Phil gets hired as an accountant and Barry's company and audit for writing everything as a business experience.
I just sent it off to somebody else. You sent all of our company secrets to somebody else? Yes.
Like Craig was mentioning earlier. It's just like, there's no option. This is it. So I have to grind. I have to do this. And like, that sounds miserable to me, even though you say you're having fun.
But he's not grinding.
Yeah, no.
He slides out of bed, pulls some Hogan's, eats some breakfast, sets up his stream.
Pull some Hogan's in
the pre-stream right before he starts streaming. Does his pre-stream. He goes to the bathroom real quick, pulls some Hogan, plays the game, goes on break, pulls Hogan's, comes back, streams, in stream, pulls Hogan.
Dutch says, later guys, I gotta sleep for work. Have fun with Phil floundering around like a dead fish.
Fun.
Yeah,
sure.
Fun. Enjoy the sleep you're gonna get. Dude, I slept like a lump today. Like a lump. It was wonderful.
Hey, this ratio is it's really bad.
We knew it would be. Hey, remember when I said maybe not even 3?
This is really bad. We're doing like what, 20 minutes?
Remember when I said not even 3?
This is real bad.
It seems like you're just trying to convince yourself that instead of
Actually,
it might be true. It might be true, but these two things could be true also. I'm just pointing.
Yes
that
and
out
no.
And I just like to kind of continue on with that, right? The idea of like, do you have a business plan? Do you have what it looks like what your business looks like in a month from now? Do you have a business plan for a year from now? You have a tax guy who runs your numbers, but are you saving money? Because it doesn't sound like you are, because just based off what you're saying, and it very much sounds like you're going to be doing this when you're 60, right? And if you want to be doing it when you're 60, that's fine. But this doesn't seem very forward thinking. You know, when you seem like you're living day to day as opposed to thinking about long term. And dude, you're 40 years old, and at a certain point, you got to look at things and say, like, well, do I want to be doing that? Like, will I ever have enough money to retire? Will I ever have enough money to not do this? So walk me through that. Walk us through that. The idea of, like, and it's okay to say you don't have a business plan. It's okay. It's like, we're putting it all on the table here, Phil. And if you don't, that's fine. Just kind of walk me through it, man.
Currently, do I have a business plan? No.
Business major.
Flying by the seat of his pants.
Making over $100K a year.
He's got a wife. He's got a household. He's got another creature he needs to take care of. And he has nothing. He's just, the money comes, and I'm just going to be here until the money don't come anymore. And then what?
And then I'll figure it out.
Just kind of walk me through it, man.
Currently, do I have a business plan? No. Have I had business plans in the past? Yes. And
irrelevant.
Did they work out? If they worked out, why are you in this position?
I had a business plan when I was 16 to become an astronaut. What does that matter? It don't mean about your
I'm gonna
past
create a
things.
new app, and it's gonna knock everyone's socks off, and it's gonna be,
look where you are now. What does that business plan have to do? What did you learn from your failed business plan?
every single one of them has been destroyed by my income.
What were the business plans that were destroyed?
When he got that sponsor stream for
Assassin's Creed,
it was that one or the first one with the
the Stanley Parable.
It was one of those things, whatever it was. He was talking about, I kind of want to just take weekly sponsor streams. So that could have been it. And then he got, quote unquote, kicked out of the Twitch partnership advertiser thing.
Over and over. You know, to have a plan, a long-term plan, you have to know at least what the stability is going to be today.
Phil,
another jackpot.
Another one? Congratulations, Aries. That's 3 in a stream. Phil, you don't know what the stability is, but it doesn't matter what the stability is if you know what your roughly minimum is. If you extrapolate
Arya says, I saw a very recent Phil clip where he says there is no point in having 5, 10, or 15-year plans because anything can happen and ruin it.
Everything is crowdfunded. Nothing matters. Who has a plan out there? You know who has a plan? Very wealthy people.
Successful people.
This bastard said $1 million doesn't mean too much to a family.
Give any family $1 million right now.
His whole thing was Capcom. You know, you got your $1 million Capcom cup.
Yes.
And it's just like the traveling around the country and stuff like that. You're missing out on your kids' birthdays and stuff like that. So
no, there's certain events that happen at you go to Combo Breaker, you go to CEO, you go to what, Winter Brawl, Evo.
He went nuts.
You might need to travel 5 times out of the year, 5 weekends out of the year.
But at the end of the time, it was just like, and at the end of the day, $1 million isn't even that much. You can invest it, but if you got a family with a kid and stuff, that's just gonna go.
All money's gonna go.
No,
Neo
but he has
Arcadia
to be
says,
right.
I am convinced Phil is a government sleeper agent. This has to be a front.
Lizard person.
He's something. And one day we're going to find out and nobody's going to be surprised. It's going to be like, expect it. As advertised.
$1 million right now can buy a family a house, 2 cars, and whatever and savings for whatever potential thing could come up. A house, let's just say $400K house. $400K house, 2 $40K cars. Well, we're at $480K.
$1 million is just gone.
He sucks.
And depend on a little bit of that stability. And it sucks. Like Adam said, YouTube.
I made a mistake and went out of full screen.
Twitch, any kind of online content creation is a constantly fluctuating thing.
Where I was going originally. You can look at the past 12 months of your income and go, this was the least I got. So this, let's just take.
I don't go below 55K.
5,500.
So every so often. It is every once out of 9 months I'll go below that.
So let's just even say I should expect a minimum of $5,000 a month. That's your stability right there.
There it is. And
now you start planning my everything I am paying for. I need to think of it in the mindset of I have $5,000 for the month.
If you get more, put it off to the side if you have to, or fix your shower, get a new TV, new controller, whatever it is.
Tomorrow, everything could be turned off for all of us. We can't even stream, right? It could be a new law that says we can't do it anymore. In which case, then I guess I am boned, and I got to go out there and get an offline job. Right?
There is no law that can be passed in a single day of just like, cut it off.
Cut off the internet.
Well, how can I lay out a business plan when every month is different, when it looks like there's consistency?
You are a business major.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think businesses have a stable income of $1 million a month?
McDonald's earns $5,000 every week, and it never goes above that. It never goes below that. They don't have to send people home when it gets slow. They don't have to bring people in when it gets busy. No, always 5,000 exactly.
To my life. Oh, here's what I'm making every month. That's exactly what was happening in 2021. There was a series of months, like the first 3 months and 4 months of the year. Things were going great. I had a business plan. Here's what I wanted.
No. You had an idea of where things could go.
And what that is I just keep making money and then I can pay stuff off.
And things get better for me. That's not a business plan.
There was no, once I have a surplus of, let's say, $5,000 in my bank account, that's when I'm going to start looking towards improving the business with green screen, because I know that this $5,000 is my emergency money in case something happens, in case I have a bad month. But once I go over that amount, I feel safe enough to start going, okay, in green screen. New PC parts when they're on sale,
better lighting.
There was nothing like that.
A webcam, a second webcam, so when I play fighting game, it's on my hands.
It's always fun. We're always having fun, but goodbye and good luck.
See you later, Adrian.
Let's do this for a certain amount of years. Let's expand. Let's improve this.
Ares1 says, it's not my fault, it's the humans that are to blame. Now excuse me, I need to engage in procreation.
The humans, it's them! I mean us, right, humans?
I must go sex my wife.
Isaiah Avila
I need to have sex upon my wife.
Phil is it struggled to give me any information on him. Then I asked who Maximilian Dude is, it gave me his whole biography.
Phil likes to pretend like everything is out there. And he likes to pretend that
he's bigger than he is.
Like Apple, if he was to apply for Apple, they would look up Phil Burnell and then just go, oh my goodness, Wikitubia, and they would do no further research on him. He would like to pretend that to be true.
Let's try new things. Let's do this. And then if it keeps going,
let's try new things. So here I did have plans. Let's try new things. Let's do this. Tell me that's not a kid trying to think of a lie.
Tell me that's not a kid that gets, hey, what would you do with $100 right now, little Timmy? Oh, I'd get this and I do that. I buy my mom a car.
I'd get some food. It's like these are nebulous just things. Explain what you talking about.
Next stage of the business plan, right? And what happens? I lose my partnership.
Neo Arcadia says, how can I make a business plan if things change every month? I'm convinced my business education is a scam.
How, as a business major, do you not understand that a business does not have a set amount of income? It always fluctuates, and they have to account for losses and gains, and putting those gains into research and development or expanding the business or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they have to try to offset those losses either by firing people, lowering wages, taking pay cuts themselves.
Crazy.
How do you not understand this as a business major?
Max is a cool guy, and the whole thing about that is people want to talk about him in a positive light. People want to tell his story. Where, as opposed to Phil, where Craig goes, yeah, I got a bunch of haters and detractors and stuff talking about Phil, didn't get a single fan. That's the big difference.
Nobody was on Twitter seeing Craig getting all those messages and going, hey, no, Phil's great.
DA, there's 2 short clips in the Discord of your greatest no context moment. 8 seconds each. Please look at it. They might be worse than the Hitler comments.
It's going to be hard to top that, if I'm being honest.
I'm 32. Give me
Neo Arcadia says, also TDF, has Phil ever said he completed his business education and got a degree, or did he only take a class and never passed with decent grades?
No. He's got he showed off his diploma.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it.
They called his school and he was a valedictorian.
These are factual things.
I'll kill an 8-year-old. I have before and I'll do it again. Don't clip that. Nah, clip it. Don't clip none of that. Clip it. The course didn't catch me. I'll kill an 8-year-old.
That trigger stream was something else, wasn't it? Ooh, hey, anything I say with that trigger stream, it should not be taken as fact. We were out. We were gone at that point.
Yeah,
all right,
we were dying.
Asterisk.
Identity theft, income's destroyed. Now what do I do? Business plan's gone.
No, your income is not destroyed. It is less.
Fucking lying!
Oh, I guess I'm lying.
So how can I set a plan when these people won't allow me?
Phil, you know where you're at right now. You've been this way since you've left Twitch. You know what you're getting roughly every month. It's going to go down. It's going to go up roughly. Set out a plan right now.
And his plan is simply get more money.
Yes.
Find ways to
I gotta win the lotto or something.
Not collab with this person. Not network here. Not improve my tweeting. I'm 32 years old. Am I?
No, you're way more than that, bro.
No, am I?
Yeah, you're 33 going on 34.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, no, you'll be 34 like...
Well, I'm not way more than 32. Calm down.
I mean, way more.
I got nervous for a second.
Even have any level of stability in my life, or even a few months.
You know what you do?
Stuff that they're doing.
You make another business plan.
I ain't got a business plan because they won't let me make one absent of them.
What a question I wish they would have asked is, once you've paid all your bills and everything, how much extra money do you have a month?
Do you have any feel money? What's the last thing that you've gotten for yourself? Not like shampoo or something, like a watch. Something that outside of the business, something where, hey,
outside of grooming, things you need.
Hey, don't talk to me about grooming.
Ukulele girl was. That is not the wave.
Yeah, no,
that's what you do.
Like any. I mean, I don't.
What choice do you have?
Right.
The only choice is to make a new one and continue moving forward.
I agree.
Like
I will not be beaten by these people. You know,
what you just said sounded like you were
legitimately. Don't say that these people aren't gonna beat me, and then say I can't do nothing because they stopping me.
They beating me.
I'm getting beaten, y'all, but they ain't gonna beat me. Mom getting stomped out, going, you ain't hurting me. I'm Army.
Never again. There have been times where I went, I'm gonna download the entirety of Cops and try to find this thing.
There are 1 million episodes,
and that was the problem.
Oh
like
no,
you have been over and over again.
One of the
I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know what you what you just finished with. You know, I had a business. He asked what your business plan is. He was like, I had a business plan, but they kept shitting all over it. Like that was your response instead of this is my business plan, right? You don't have a future vision. I think that's what Craig is going.
Aries1 says, "Don't talk to me about grooming." DA 2023.
Okay, I spoke. I do have a future vision. The problem is, if I fully explain it,
Pause.
they're
Do you have a business plan? No. You just said you didn't have a business plan. No, but I do, but it's because of them. I can't do it.
Then make a new one. No, it's not. I have a future vision. It was a Project 7 trailer.
Y'all want clips from me? Just wait. Don't ask for clips. You'll get them.
I spoke. I do have a future vision. The problem is, if I fully explain it, they're going to try to ruin it.
What could people possibly ruin about your future vision?
I want to get sponsors. Unless you go, I'm actively in talks to do a sponsorship tomorrow with Raid Shadow Legends. The check's almost clearing, but once I do that first ad, I'm going to get the money. Oh, wait, y'all tweeted them and they rescinded that? Okay, that's them ruining it. But I can't imagine that's how sponsorships work.
Oh, no, it's not. We get sponsorships, not a list exists, but 2200 over on Twitch through Stream Elements, where it just goes, hey, talk about this product in your stream, get $448.
It's the simplest thing. But the vagaries of I can't even explain what my business plan is because they would ruin it. But I do have one. BG, I have a plan to get rich. I can't tell you though.
Why not? I'll ruin it.
Yeah, no, because these people they'll clip me and then they'll show my clips out of context and then they'll get ruined.
Phil is a robot or alien, maybe both.
A robot alien?
Yeah, the future.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry.
It's a horrible answer.
Do I have an idea of what I'd like to do? Yes. I know exactly. Actually, I have steps in place to know exactly what I can do to try to fix my situation.
That's the plan.
His thing is, hey, this React channel is doing well. Just keep doing that. And
he
then
always
I'll get out of
tries to get this shiny new thing, and it pops off for like a month and a half,
and then he gets salty
when it's not doing as well. And it's like, what's the next shiny thing? That's why he always loved the hardcore gaming season, because it was the shiniest new things constantly coming out. So he always had new footage to provide, always new games to play, and always money revenue coming in, where ads are at their highest, all that type of stuff.
But the long form reacts, those were his thing for a while. It was just like, yeah, let's go. Didn't work once. Didn't get a whole lot of money once. He's just like, I guess you guys just don't want this anymore, so we're moving to bi-monthly.
I don't want to listen.
Sounds good.
I don't want to be here on stream every day saying to people, toss me a few bucks. Oh my God, that's the worst feeling every time I effing do it. I don't want to say, hey, tip me, do this. That's obnoxious. I just want to play games and chill with my audience. And this is the funny part that my detractors will never mention. Before my income kept getting screwed over all these different times by them and by my choices. It's not just them, it's also my bad choices that did this. I never had any kind of crowdfunding. It was always just Phil's making a living on YouTube.
Pause.
That's when, because Machinima got knocked down and you had to do other stuff.
His quote was, literally everything is crowdfunding. Well, I guess Phil from 4 months ago is just wrong.
I hate begging for money. I'm going to do it every day, though. Hey, how about you start taking them sponsorships?
How about you take steps to not do the thing that you hate every day? Because you can avoid that. It's not like going, dang, I hate going to work. But you got to go to that job. Because, maybe that's the best job in your area, best paying, whatever. You have steps to not do this thing by taking this money over here.
If you do a sponsorship and they pay you $1,200, that is legitimately 4 streams worth of money by just doing a sponsorship. A 2-minute ad gives you 4 streams worth of the tips goal.
But he's railed against this so much that it's hard to not to run that back and just go, hey guys, Walmart sponsorship. When he rails on people on Twitter just going hashtag ad, he goes, once I see hashtag ad, I close that down because I know they're not
getting hashtag block.
So it's going to be very difficult after all these years to just run that back.
But he's done it before. He's done it with
direct capture and stuff
direct
like
capture, Minecraft, live streaming, going over to Twitch, going back to Twitch, going back to YouTube.
I know.
React. He has never not done it.
I know.
Via ad revenue. I had no sponsors. I didn't take any money.
I don't want to ask for money every stream. Ask every stream. Same energy that contributors say when they don't want to make this video. It'd be different if he felt like he needed to, but he doesn't need to. Oh no.
I felt like this was, I thought this was Chris's album.
Fans for crowdfunding. Everyone else was. I wasn't doing it. It wasn't until the revenue started to get hurt by that.
No, you got so much less money from Machinima. You got kicked out of Machinima. Curse wasn't giving you as much money. You couldn't find a sponsored or whatever it was called, managed partnership. That's where a lot of your money started dwindling. And that's when you went to live stream to pump up that revenue.
I decided to do crowdfunding because everyone told me to do it, right? Now, my income's ruined over and over by these people, and what's their number one critique of me? You beg too much. I wouldn't beg if you didn't keep messing with my income. You beg too much. I wouldn't beg if you
Let's hear what they were about to say.
messing with my income. The only reason I have to do it is keep ruining.
He's done. Yep. He's so done.
My financial income. You keep ruining it for me. So how can I have... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Phil. Begging for money is never a good look for anyone.
Completely agree. I can't dispute it.
Well, and he does it daily. And he's on autopilot of just cheers, sub, tips, membership, super chats, tips,
likes.
and you see once he starts asking again, he's on the track. He has a stencil that he just pops up. The first thing is always likes because it costs no money.
Yep.
So he's asking for something easy. Then he'll go into super chat members. And the last thing is always tips.
Because that's what he wants in your mind.
Yes.
Tips, because I get to use those immediately. He wants that in your mind. And what's worse is this is how much of a piece of filth Phil is. This is why I will never like this man.
Says, I don't want to ask for money, but I have to do it for them since I am such a nice guy.
They told me to do crowdfunding.
This piece will go, hey, tips have been great recently, but the super chats have kind of dried up. What's going on,
I need that for long term. And then
you hit the goals, but now you're not getting super chats, so it's still a problem.
Legitimately, he'll go, I need that support for long term. And then the next day, he'll get a lot of super chats and he's going, this is good long term, but tips aren't good. I need that for short term bills. All of my bills, y'all.
This guy is so much filth.
How do you get kicked out of Machinima? They screwed over tons of people and basically held hostage legally for the most part. Phil is an anomaly. Somebody hit Miguel. Yeah, I think they might have. Did they shut down or did they kick him out?
No, they kicked him out before they shut down. Years before they shut down.
Hey, lucky for you, he's doing a Machinima retrospective because I think June the King.
These monkeys.
Gorillas. June the King is doing a video. He's just like, I'm going through all my old emails just so I can have references. It's just going to be a big old diarrhea pile of they suck and they screwed me over and they didn't care and they didn't want to help me and I was their number 3 earner and all
so
this
what
stuff.
happened there was either, I can't remember if it was because of reduced revenue it was because he kept complaining like a Karen that he needed to talk to somebody above whoever he was talking to. He needed to escalate it to management.
Yep, that was it. Mm-hmm.
And they were just like,
that
no.
whole, I don't want to be a part of you guys if you're going to treat me this way.
Yep. And then they were like, we're terminating your contract.
That's that. I didn't fire. You didn't fire me. I quit.
Then
pay his bills.
To pay his bills. The internet bill.
The electric bill. The internet bill. Stupid and trolls, man. I just want to chill.
The idea of like going on stream and saying, I really need help for these taxes. I really need help for whatever. I got a big thing coming up. Trav, can you please kill it with the chats, please? The biggest thing, and people asking, is this live? Yes, this is live, right? Of course, this is live. You had an opportunity with Keemstar and Drama Alert to go on there for it was $50,000.
Nodding.
To go.
Acceptance. You had an opportunity to go on there for $50,000. Nodding in affirmation.
Yep, this is all correct that you are saying right now, Craig.
On this podcast, right? $50K.
To go on this podcast, $50K.
Nod,
so we got
nod.
Keemstar, $50K. Podcast. Nod. No shaking of the head. Yes, this is all true. This is how humans communicate. This is body language stuff. You are affirming this. You can't run it back.
Why not do that? Like that's a giant amount of money. And yes, there's taxes attached to that. After it's all said and done, it's probably $30K, right? But why not just say, okay, I'll take your money and I'll spend a couple hours on your podcast. That would.
Did Phil ever comment on the Wings versus Boogie match?
He did not.
No. He said he's not going to watch it. It's just a bunch of fat guys doing stuff for everybody to laugh at them. I'm not going to partake. I don't think they were laughed at, really.
Nope.
That's the crazy part.
I think the biggest laugh point was Boogie's pants falling down. But, that could have happened to any boxer.
Yeah.
That was funny. His pants fell down. It's play school stuff.
Clear up so much of your financial burden.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Keemstar story. Here we go.
Well, no.
Don't chuckle.
No, and he's just like, no, don't tell me this in story.
Why not just go
on his money? Well, let me tell you the story.
That's what happens with Phil every time. Phil, here's a question. Well, let me tell you the story.
Here's a story. Not here's the answer and here's the background behind that answer. Oh no, he didn't offer me $50,000. It was a big runaround and stuff like that. I didn't even know what he was talking about. Let me explain that real quick. Here's the story. And then by the time you get to the end of the story, there's other questions involved, and we done forgot the point one question. He keeps doing that.
But just answer that question. I don't want to hear the story.
Yeah, people legitimate props to them. They both lost weight. Boogie did not train as hard as Wings did, and
Wings tried.
And I said, Wings got hate in his heart. He would fall down swinging. He would bite your ankle if he could think that would get him a little bit more. Boogie ain't got that.
Boogie is a soft boy at heart.
He's a soft man. Nothing against soft men, but he ain't
a soft man.
Wings is hardened, and he was just like, and in the beginning of the press conference, he was just like, look, I don't have a lot of money to provide I don't have a lot of opportunity to provide for my family. This is a good opportunity. Gets me on camera, gets me some money. I get a trip. It's good to
gravy, baby.
So of course I'm gonna accept this. I'm like, that's a good mentality to have. Point at me, laugh at me, whatever. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get paid.
I'm gonna get paid for my family.
That's such a good mentality to have. It lost weight.
You can look at me as a fool. I don't care.
Yeah.
My family eats tonight. My family eats good for a while.
And it's not like he was up in there twerking. It's a legitimate boxing match. It was just he's just a big fat guy. That's all it was.
Story. Here we go.
Well, no.
God, that's good.
That question. I don't want to hear the story. I just want to know, why would you not take $50K?
Because that's not what happened. You've been told a story that's not true.
Then why did you
R.
nod your head in acceptance for that
Getting
entire
Thanks for the
time?
jackpot BG. Also DA to the top Dragon Instinct sweep.
To the top. Dragon
How
Instinct
dare
Goku
you?
to the top.
Expect a ban by next time you come up in here.
To the top.
Expect it.
Later, Aries. Enjoy the rest of your night. Next would be DSP versus Review Tech USA.
He's too much of a coward to get in the ring.
No. I bet if anybody offered Phil $500K to get in the ring, he wouldn't turn
Blood
it down.
money. No. I have my integrity. But again, he just go, that ain't what happened. Even though Craig went, Keemstar offered you $50K for a podcast. Why didn't you take it? Because that's not what happened. So why was you nodding?
Okay. Please.
So there's a history with Keemstar where,
I'm going into the story.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to tell my story.
Over the years.
You ain't stopping me.
Phil out here laughing like Gecko Moria.
Has a horrible reputation on YouTube. Everyone knows it.
Hey,
irrelevant.
Who cares how bad he is as a YouTuber? Hey, Phil, same thing with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to crap on the guy here, but just go look on YouTube. You'll find out all about him and the thing.
Phil, that's the same thing people do for you, and you go, oh no, you shouldn't do that. You should come see me personally to see what I'm like.
He said and did to people and things over the internet. I've had a little bit of history with.
That reminds me what happened in that T23 stream. I missed it.
T23 stuff happened.
Yeah.
And then
it was a terrible time.
You're fine.
But,
you know what? We'll go ahead and delete that stream. That's fine.
Dragon Instinct to the top.
We can go ahead and delete that stream. It's fine. Ain't nobody got to see that.
Speaking of Keemstar, is he still doing the documentary about Phil's detractors enablers? I think he said he's not doing that anymore. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what he said.
Yeah, little.
What's with the face? What's with the face? What's with the face?
He did not remove my comments.
What happened?
He did not.
He just removed them?
He did not remove my comments.
The reply stuff?
He did not. I refuse to believe that.
What a coward!
That's fine.
No, he didn't put LOL and then delete the comments.
He did. All right.
Holy crap! How can you run from criticism that hard?
That's that Phil stuff of I get to say what I say and then you get to go because I banned you and you don't get to reply.
What a filthy person! Just filthy!
But not a lot.
The Demon Slayer 9-hour analysis, 7-hour analysis. He commented to somebody and it was he replied to somebody who was just like they were wrong and he was correcting them. I'm just like, why do they get a reply when I get my message removed? And he goes, I don't see your comment, so whatever. And then I reposted my comment. He put LOL and just deleted everything. It's disgusting. Coward stuff.
And basically he had been pretty nasty to me a few times, tweets and things like that. What it is people will ask me something on a stream. What do you think of Keemstar? And I'll be like, it's not just Keemstar. It's a lot of guys. I don't like these drama YouTubers.
No, you were going hard against Keemstar in particular. Stop that.
Yeah, who else is there, Phil?
Who are the other drama YouTubers?
You got nobody.
The misery brokers. Okay, what they do?
Who?
King.
What they do is who is they? Who is them? Who is that?
Is if you have a bad day, they're having a good one because you had a bad day. What kind of content is that? To me, I feel.
You mean like you did with Pro Jared, and then you had that whole this is a good day for me because I'm getting a lot of attention out of this bad day for this guy.
Here comes that debunk stream.
Is that what you're talking about, Phil? You mean things such as that? Cool.
That's the worst kind of content. You're benefiting from someone else's personal drama and misery. Keemstar's definitely one of those people in my eyes. You can disagree. That's okay. That's what I think of the guy.
I hate his you can disagree boys.
We all know everybody can disagree. Yes. That's not the issue.
I don't need permission to disagree.
With a DSP.
So I said this one day, casually. He starts insulting me and everything on the internet. So we have a little bit of bad blood there, okay? All of a sudden, it was last year, okay? Unbeknownst to me, people start telling me, Phil, Keemstar is trying to contact you. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I have a public, Craig knows. Craig emailed me. I have a public email. If you want to talk to me, contact me. Let's talk. Let's figure out, it's a business relationship. No email, nothing, okay? He's sitting on his Twitter, and he's making public...
Twitter?
He's sitting on his what?
Twitter. He's sitting on his Twitter.
No email, nothing, okay? He's sitting on his Twitter, and he's making public tweets. Someone tell DarksydePhil I want to talk to him right now. Contact him. Tell him I need to talk to him. There's $50,000 on the table.
You're blocked. Number one, you're blocked. You blocked him. He can't contact you on Twitter. That's the way he chooses to do his business. What are you to say? This is the way that I approve that you do business with me. Number two, even if he wasn't blocked, one person going, "Hey Phil, do this thing." Is that provide more visibility than 200 people saying, "Hey Phil, Keem wants to talk to you"? That one tweet by Keem could be easily
Neo
missed by
Arcadia
you.
says, speaking of Keemstar, is he still gonna make the documentary where he interviews and talks with Phil's enablers?
Like I said, I think he said he's not doing that anymore. Yeah.
Right now. Is that, first of all, is that how you start a business relationship? Is you scream on your Twitter to have someone come talk to you?
Pause. And you see how he has to frame it as screaming on Twitter.
Yeah.
That
it could have been the calmest tweet. Hey, somebody tell DSP I want to talk to him about a business opportunity.
But no, he's screaming on Twitter.
Get that piece of Phil on the line.
He has something to offer me. Should he not contact me?
Hey, and you know what happened? He said $50K and you jumped, dog.
So I only know about this because people come to my stream to tell me about it. Okay.
So to answer your question, I think that in a traditional environment, no, that's not how you start a relationship. When you deal in the space that Keemstar does and kind of the drama, like look at me space, yes, that is how you would start it. Because you throw out $50,000 on Twitter, people go, whoa.
Yes, people, that buzz gets started.
Yes.
People go, dang, what does Keem want with DSP? Dang, $50K? That gets that in their mind. So once that product comes down the line, they go,
already know about
this
it.
is what they was talking about.
They already know about it. They're already anticipating it. They're already in a fervor about it.
He's got the buzz going.
As opposed to popping up just, hey, in 3 months, episode 1 Law Call cast. Like,
here it is.
Shadow dropping a podcast.
I want to get this attached. So is traditional?
Not.
We're dealing with Coca-Cola. We're dealing with Keemstar, right? And that's what he does for a living. So he wants to put eyes on his product and drive interest. So I would say, yeah, he did do it the right way in his world, in his interest.
It's the same.
As an online content creator, absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't you publicly go, hey, I want to talk to you about this thing?
Mm-hmm. And you gotta dig around to find, Craig found my email. Craig is not as big as Keemstar. Craig is not as busy as Keemstar. Keem probably looked at his Twitter and just went, YouTube, DSP gaming.com. There's no email here. I'll just tweet them.
I think we should stop at 6 because these people are about to get crazy.
We see how we feel at 6. See how they're going.
Dude, they just set off what sounded like an M80.
I understand.
And the lights aren't even dim
we'll see
yet.
how we need to get through, because this is horrible ratio. This is shocking.
Are you shocked? Because
Yes.
I told you.
We've done 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Last one was 4 hours.
Yes.
We got through 1.5 hours last time.
There was less to talk about.
That's why we were talking about we didn't even get to the good stuff. And we're not even to the good stuff.
The people making this is how you don't play a video game. It's the same shit. They're using your, I don't know, for lack of a better word, clout to make content, and it works. So Keem did it, and you're doing that same thing. You're bitter that he's not approaching you respectfully. If he actually wants
DA
to
stocks
get
go
you on
up.
his stream
DA's trying
or
to keep it
whatnot,
going.
he maybe should have reached out to you, but he's basically using you. It's like the right thing would be is to use him back.
Right.
Instead of getting all upset.
Right. And if there's $50,000 on the table, what better way There's no way he's going to make 50 grand back off an interview with you. Like, why don't just take it, cash the check, and then you're golden?
Okay.
Or even if it's 10 grand, even if it's 5 grand, even if it's $1,000.
It's money that can help you.
Yes. Point blank, period. No matter, as a man who constantly needs help.
And if that's the whole case, you should go, Keem, give me some references. Give me some people that you worked with that goes, Keem is a reputable businessman.
No matter what, he will pay.
He will pay. He will fulfill his end of the bargain.
I can't. There's not a lot of things I could think of where people go, Keem scammed a partner out of money, or someone he said he was going to pay out of money. I can say a lot about Logan Paul doing stuff like that.
Why not just be like, yeah, I'll take it. Sure.
Okay, let's continue because this isn't what happened actually.
Hey, I asked you a question. Well, I got to continue my story. well, you guys cut off my story, so I'm going to continue talking about my story, though. So that's what's going to happen here,
Is
okay?
the story going to answer my question?
We'll see.
Please.
It wasn't an interview.
So explain that part, because I just want to know about that. Like you said, that's not what happened. So what did happen?
Correct. So eventually, I had to DM him on Twitter to even get his attention because he wouldn't contact me. I learned it from drama on my.
No, he said DM me. You said no. He said DM me. You said no. He said there's 50,000, and you said yes.
Well, I guess I could see what's going on here.
Everyone's drawn up drama on my stream. He wants to talk to you. So I DM him, and he's like, "Call me right now." I was like, "I can't. Just tell me what is this about?" I'm streaming.
And you see, we don't have the tweets because it's a DM, so he can put whatever inflection that he can.
Yeah.
He can put whatever words in Keem's mouth. Call me right now. Who knows? Keem could have been like, "Hey, you want to hop in the call real quick? I got something I want to talk to you about.
Are you available for a call right now?"
But that negative connotation of him turns into "call me right now." Now, he could absolutely have said, "Call me right now." Could have absolutely have said that. Could have been excited like, "Yo, call me right now. I got a big business opportunity for you. You're going to want to hear this right now. You don't know his tone, but you're giving him this tone of "call me right now."
I'm busy. Just let me know what this is about. So I'm serious. I had to go back and forth with this guy so many times for him to just tell me in a DM, what I'm interested in is I want to do a show with you. I want you to host a show. This was not an interview for 2 hours. This was some kind of like a big project he wanted to be involved in. I don't know exactly what. Let me explain. So he says, "But I don't want to talk about it in a DM. We got to have a phone call." I'm like, "Okay, that's reasonable, right? Let's have a phone call. Here's my number. Here's when to call me. I'm available at these times of the day." Okay? I wait. The call never comes. It's been like 2 days. The call never comes. Maybe he's not serious about it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. All of a sudden, I'm on streams. He starts calling me when I'm on streams. I'm like, is he? I don't know what's going on again.
Pause. He almost went back into Phil mode there. Because he goes, is he? He was going to say, is he stupid? Is he an idiot? Go back to that. That little, he caught himself.
He starts calling me when I'm on streams. I'm like, is he?
Is he, I don't know.
Right there. He was going back to his old ways. He's like, "Oh, Lordy, I'm about to sip
reliable." Is he a moron?
Well,
Phil, you stop your stream all the time to go take a crap. How could you not go, "Hey, y'all, I have a call.
I'm a step away
step away for about 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back."
Hey, Kat's here. I gotta see why she's coming home early. Walked away for that.
Monkeys.
You think Phil is lying? Now, what makes you think Phil is lying? Hold on. I think we should give him the benefit of the doubt after all this time. I think this is the one truth that he's talking.
Phil reminds me of Dennis. He considers himself a golden god and refers to everybody else as idiots. Absolutely. Phil's way is the right way. Just like Dennis, the Phil system. Pay me, hand over money, I need money, like and support.
Literally was about to call him an idiot. Is he pulled it back?
Is he? I don't know.
That's his base default of just, you're an idiot.
I don't know what's going on again. So I DM him after the fact. I'm like, hey, you want to? So basically, it's like stupid phone tag. The guy won't even contact me to talk about what he wants to offer me.
Pause. You see?
Hey,
that
did you call him back when you had the time?
Hey, you see that he called you. You recognize it as him. Oh, he called me. You go to DM him instead of calling him.
Calling him back.
Why not, Phil?
Just calling and saying, hey, I was on stream. I couldn't pick up the phone. Even if you get a voicemail, just I was on stream. I couldn't pick up the phone. I'm available to talk for the next hour and a half. Get back to me.
But it's a power play of you call me. When he literally just said, yeah, I recognize that he called me during my stream. So you see the phone number. You DM him and going, hey, what's going on? Why are you calling me at the wrong time? You're available now. You call him.
Available, right? So at that point, I'm like, let me figure out what this is. And I talked to my wife about it. And we sat down. I was like, sounds to me like he wants...
Boy, she got his balls in a vice grip. Because whatever she say, that's just the way it is.
The way it goes.
You thought that interview was good, Phil? I didn't think it was very good.
You're right. Dang, that interview was... They did betray me.
Be involved in the project. I don't know what it is.
Pause. Go back.
Full to
just
hear
like
it or
10 minutes. 10 seconds, sorry.
And we sat down. I was like, sounds to me like he wants me involved in a project. I don't know what it is.
Pause. Sounds to me like he wants me in a project. I don't know what it is. You've already said that Keem said that it was a podcast. You talked about it in the DMs. Keem said, I got a podcast and I want you in it. So you do know what it is. The f is he talking about?
And my wife says, you know about him, right? I was like, of course I know about him. Everyone knows about Keemstar. And we talked about it seriously. And we're like, right now, $50,000, if this was real, would be hugely helpful for us. It would put us, back, jump ahead, almost square one, I would say.
How does 50K not put you at square one?
So he thinks, Phil right now, currently, is 50K behind. If 50K instantly almost
50K.
Almost puts him at square one.
That is all debts repaid, essentially. No extra stuff, no spending of superfluous stuff, debt stuff.
So Phil has all over 50K in debts right now.
Mm-hmm. And that 50K will help him.
I'm here to support. Get mad at this dude.
Yeah, boy.
That are going on financially behind the scenes. And, when at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for the business. You got to do what's best for everything. Everyone's good interest.
Your family.
What's best for you? Taking the money. What's best for your business? Taking the money. What's best for everything? People get entertained. Keem gets a little bit of more money. Boogie and Wing get more money. Everybody gets advanced by that podcast. So why not take it?
Sounds like the best thing was to take the money. Did Phil take the money?
He did not take the money.
Dang.
And if this were someone who I felt had my best interest in mind or
the best interest in mind, just screw all of that noise. Who cares if a person has your best interest in mind if they're willing to pay the amount they say they're gonna pay?
You use him, he uses you. You both go in.
I don't care if a month is like, hey, drink as much of this gallon of milk as you can for $10,000. Even if, my health, it's not good for my health at the moment, I'm going to drink it and they're going to give it to me. Mm-hmm. They don't have my best interest in mind. They have getting the most entertainment out of me doing this stupid thing in mind. But hey, $10,000.
I got what I needed out of you.
A friend of mine got a $10,000 check from her brother-in-law because he was like, hey, drink this spoiled milk. I'll give you $10K.
I do it.
And she did. And like a week later, he handed over a check for $10K.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Guy with two names, we have been dragging. It's been a struggle. It's been what 30 minutes we've done.
Yeah, it's been
30
real
minutes
bad. In 2.5 hours. It's been
not
real bad.
Been good. I expected way more, but we're getting into the good money stuff. And there's a lot to talk about with the money stuff and then the Keem stuff and all that.
Possibly had the history that he has, I probably would have done it.
It doesn't matter about the history. Unless it's some rapist of women is just like, come to this woman convention with me for $50K. I'm not doing that, sir. I'm not attaching my name to you at the women's convention, you rapist. If it's some white supremacist Nazi dude, just like, I can understand you going, no, I'm not gonna go march with you on Hanukkah for $50K. I'm just not gonna do that, sir.
But you hearing about what he's done and watching a video, you just going, reprehensible.
He makes fun of people for profit. And that's enough for me to turn down $50,000.
To just sit down, talk to Boogie and Wings for an hour a week. Get more money on the back end.
Because people would donate. They would tip.
You say he ain't got your best interest in heart. He gives you that $50,000. You put it in your bank account. What is he going to do? He can't take that back.
Here's another thing. He may not have your best interest at heart, but he has his best interest at heart. And his best interest at heart is to make this thing work. Because in the long run, he would probably see a return on investment.
And even if he doesn't, he gets the enjoyment of just going, hey, I got these 3 people that nobody else could get together.
I disagree that he couldn't, because the Stutter and Craig and all of them got a bunch of money just from Phil fan off of 2 streams. They got like 2-3K. Imagine Boogie and having
I didn't say that they wouldn't get that money.
Just in the background reading the super chat out to them.
Even if they don't.
There's no even if they don't.
Obviously, it would dry up after a while. It'd be the novelty for the first couple of episodes. And then you just got, Phil is a bore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about Wings and Boogie. I don't know what their element is, but I don't know. Their chemistry might be off. It could. Who knows?
But again, trolls donating $10 just to have their thing read by the person and responded.
Boy, I wonder what that feels like.
But this is a guy who has a history of online. He gets you involved in something, and then everything he does is for his own personal gain, and it doesn't matter how much he hurts you.
Who of his business partners has he hurt in the interest of himself, and regardless of how it felt? And again, even if it hurts you, how does it hurt you?
Yeah. What are you losing? What's the negative?
You've already said you're the whipping boy of the internet. You've already said people's opinions of you are so down when it comes to internet stuff. What could Keemstar and this podcast do or say to you that would make the internet at large go, oh, Phil is still a piece of... You've got people like Moist Critical who has no idea who you are, who has no idea what goes on with you, saying, oh, that guy sucks and he's just a beggar. You've got people like Asmongold. You rip on Asmongold. He watches you and goes, isn't this a Diablo stream? What is he doing? People, when they interact with your content, regardless of who they are, what they've seen before, what they've heard before, all it takes is about 20 to 30 minutes of you for them to go, oh no, this guy sucks. So regardless of whatever interest he had in lowering your interest, it was not going to be because of Keem. It would have been because of you. And at that point, just take the money to help yourself and help your family. Because right now, you're just begging on stream, re-engaging bad tweets.
Slowly but surely, just sort of softly, just, it's a swing by,
If Phil's skin was thicker than paper, he would have done it. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If Stuttering Craig had, let's just say, $10 million in the bank, and he offered Phil and Wings and Boogie that, I still don't think Phil would have done it. Because he doesn't want that.
It's also the case of him. He's been his own boss for too long, and him having to answer to somebody, him directly pointing to somebody and going, "That person gave me my money." I think he has an issue with that.
But his audience is that person.
I understand that, but it is the nebulous audience.
It is the crowd.
It is an amalgamation as opposed to one person.
As long as he's still benefiting from it, okay? There was no offer to...
But you would have benefited from it. You're disengaging from...
Why?
Yes. Why would
he offer something that wouldn't benefit him in any way?
Why would Keem give up $150,000 for zero benefit of himself? Hey, why don't companies just give people cars?
Yeah.
Why? Everything they do is just a benefit and profit to themselves. Why don't they just give us cars? He's so stupid.
Me of being on an interview for $50,000. That's a lot.
Right? So what? Okay, and I just for if it sounds like
Greg is starting to feel it.
Yes.
Right. If we were to get Keemstar on the show right now and kind of walk through this, because I'm very intrigued by this. Right. I want to know more about this project. Would you be open to that?
Absolutely not. Not after all the stuff that happened after that.
Okay, so you would not be open to talking to him right now.
I'm never going to do business with Keemstar. Not after the things.
It's not what he said. He said talking.
He said talking.
He said getting this story straight. He's going, I don't want to do business with him.
Oh yeah, Devin, let us know. Show it in the Discord. Put it in promotions. We'll have some fun looking at that.
Yeah, boy.
About him and the other things that he said and done. Absolutely not.
Okay. Then I'll delete my tweet that I was about to send asking Keemstar to come on the show. I didn't send a tweet out, just so you know. I was going to.
No smile on his face. Salt monster.
It's a difference between short-term gain and long view, right?
Phil, you have no long-term plan.
Yeah.
You have no business plan. You are only a short-term planner. I need money now. That is your plan.
This short term can help you in the long term because
Absolutely.
it gets you out of the debt.
It'll
gives you more
alleviate
security.
so much of that fluctuating. I can't create a business plan because I never know if my business is going to go up and down. But if you clear so much of that debt, if you clear even just say $30K that you would have gotten from it after the taxes and stuff, if you would have cleared $30K of that debt from the back taxes and whatever other issue you may have, when you get that $6,000-$7,000 check from YouTube and all those tips, now it doesn't need to go to those back taxes and those tips and all of that. I mean, and those bills and all of that stuff. It goes to you. It goes to your family. It goes to stuff you can plan to expand the business, to improve your stream, to improve your lighting, to improve your background, to improve your audio quality, your visual quality. Instead of needing people to donate you a 1080p camera.
You can just do it yourself.
You can just buy one. You can just buy a computer that'll help you out. So you can have all these special alerts, all these special animations. You can commission people to do things for you instead of just hoping for the generosity of your fans.
Let's say Phil has $500 a month set aside for pure emergency money. This is
rainy day funds.
Rainy day funds, if you will. If he got that $50K, spent $40K of it on all of his back taxes and bills and stuff, just trying to get back to square one. Imagine just having $10K just sitting there instead of that normal $500 of emergency. And he could have that. He could have that security. Then you could be a little bit lighter with the please tip, please. Then you can pull back on that because you hate to do it so much because you got that. Dang, I'm $1,000 lighter this month, but I got that security where I can just
easy.
Couple more of those,
Easy
then you
money.
can start getting worried, but you don't have that monthly payments of the revolving debts and stuff like that, so you're just earning more money with your YouTube stuff.
I feel like having any association with that guy in the long term is just going to hurt rather than help.
Based on what?
It's going to be...
Based on what? Oh, wow. That's a good thing.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's too good. Don't listen to us while doing that. I expected like a big paint splotch of just like, ugh, these guys are harshing my buzz. Can we put that up really quick?
Why are our fans so good?
Can we put that up real quick?
I don't know if XSplit will crash.
Okay.
because of the finagling I had to do.
You would just have to imagine the picture.
It's a really good picture.
Even more trolls, more toxicity towards me than I already have, because I've seen documentaries on this guy. It's factual evidence.
You've seen a documentary on it.
It's factual based on what, Phil? What did they show that was factual? Did they show a nugget of truth and then everybody else just extrapolated what they wanted? Phil, what is the evidence?
That he creates.
I don't want to worry about. I don't want to talk about Keemstar. I want to say you should use that mentality towards money. It seems like, you're holding him on that, but instead in your own world, I'm just saying it's just going to help you out. I feel weird because it feels like I'm like lecturing you, but I'm just like, I'm the type of person. My friends call me an honest asshole, and I'm cool with it. Like, I don't mind. I'm blunt. I'm freaking vicious sometimes, and it just seems, you're being really raw here, and honestly, props to that. So
yeah, major props for sure.
This is who I am. So I just feels like.
No, I take no offense from anything, and I appreciate all of the input. I really do. Having conversations like this can only help.
Well, so how do you square the idea of not taking Keemstar's money, but taking it from your audience, who you may not know? Maybe they're slinging crack. Maybe
they're government assistant people.
Mayhaps that even.
Who knows?
Your audience, you don't know where that money's coming from, right? They may be getting it morally in a way that you may not.
Did it just come out?
I didn't see it.
Maybe it was a previous one, the one he's talking about before.
It's that Uraka stuff.
Yeah, maybe the Uraka. Oof. He appreciates all their feedback, but then the next day he hates on all of them. Same day, you mean? He went on later that night.
I agree with morally. How do you square yourself with that? Maybe that I think everybody, if you have a sizable audience online, you deal with people who are favorable people, and you also have some unfavorable people in your audience, right? And they may get money from other ways. So how do you square that in your brain with Keemstar versus unknown money?
All he would have needed to say was, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do outside their lives. And if I did know that type of information, I would not feel comfortable getting money from them.
Mm-hmm. But I have a good idea of where Keem gets his money.
And I don't feel comfortable taking that money.
If we're talking about boiling it down to you can't take money from immoral people, then we're never going to have money, because Nike, Apple, everything does immoral practices, and we can't really boil it down to something like that. I have
Nestle, Jesus Christ, Nestle.
I get 400 to 500 people per stream. I can't put a survey out for all of them. So some of them, there's going to be some bad apples. I can never know how they get their money or what.
I'll take anyone's money. Just let it be clean.
I don't equate the two. Like, Keemstar money is, I'm taking money for a direct project that apparently is going to be a long-term business relationship with this guy. I'm associating myself with a guy who I don't respect, don't like the content he puts on the internet, versus people who watch me, like who I am, like what I stand.
That's not what he said.
That's not what he asked at all. That's not even close to what he said.
No, but I'm going to answer what I want to answer. This is the question that I want to answer, all right?
All right, we're back to that, huh?
Want to support that effort to keep it going. My crowdfunders are the people who allow me to do this for a living 15 years later. I'm a small-time guy.
That's not what he asked. Stop trying to paint yourself as this small YouTuber underdog that just needs the chance to prove that he can be as good. Dude, you're not this guy. You're a despicable person.
Triton A. Morris says, in the words of Technoblade, if you have a big enough fan base, a few of them are going to be murderers.
Yeah, you can't really stop what's going to happen.
One of my favorite things is the dude on To Catch a Predator that saw Chris Hansen just like, I loved you on Opie and Anthony. Oh, you heard me on Opie and Anthony, huh? And they just had to listen to him. Just like, oh no! One of our fans is a diddler.
Yo. You gonna get it. And you can't be like, hey, no pedos watch us, all right? We don't want that. What are they gonna be like? Oh man, and then just walk away?
In the chat, as hosts, there could be murderers.
Doing it while others of my size can't, because of the amount of support that I get, and I appreciate that so much. They know that. I tell them every day, thank you so much for allowing me to keep doing what
Nah, Phil. It's a side. Hey, I need tips for blah blah blah. 6 minutes later, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You say that you appreciate it just so you can get more later. You don't beg for the money.
You don't really show appreciation.
No, it's just
we appreciate the that does. His art is everywhere on our streams. We showcase how much we appreciate that. What do you do for Derek to show appreciation to Derek?
It just is.
He's just there. Rob on Wheels when he was there. The Ariat Lord, who was a legit friend of yours. What did you do? What did you do to show appreciation to John and Howard?
You put him on a shirt.
DA does like it.
And what you tell me is meaningful every day. But here's the thing, and this is an interesting point. As someone who's crowdfunded, mostly, it's mostly income coming in from streams, ad revenue from people watching ads, all of that. This is a question for you guys too, I guess. This is interesting.
Sure.
Can you be held accountable for your viewership?
Yes. You can to a degree.
Yes, absolutely. If Derek goes on a murdering spree, there's nothing you can do about that.
Doesn't show appreciation to his own parents. He shows appreciation enough for when them to croak, he gets that house.
That's what he's waiting for. That's the plan.
But yeah.
But if he talks about Keem and his audience goes over to Keem
and starts saying a bunch of negative and bad things about Keem, absolutely you can be held accountable. If somebody is just like, hey, that person's a pedophile, and then their fans just go screaming pedophile in all their stream chats, you should be held accountable for that thing. You directed that hatred towards that person. Yes, you should be held accountable for that.
People went over to Demon Time and left comments there. If they were negative comments, we could be held responsible.
We should be held responsible.
Because we brought it to the attention. Now, thankfully, they were all nice comments.
Yeah, nice.
They were nice.
They were nice. They were nice enough where if you just look at them, you're just like, oh.
There's no way that you could know that they weren't nice unless you knew that they weren't nice. It's my
correct. Like, for example,
it's my demon time.
Right now, the G2s. I would hope that they're all upstanding individuals, right? You always want that, but you don't know what they're all doing, right?
Sure.
Do you micromanage your G2s and say, well, there's someone who's nice on my stream and they come by every day, and I just found out, I went to their Twitter to find out that they're a horrible person. They say racist things on their Twitter all the time. If someone came to you and said that,
what was with the reaching out
spider hands
for the TV? Like a horror movie villain. What are you doing?
Someone came to you and said that, would you say, oh, I got to ban them from my community now because they say things on their own personal Twitter?
No, that's censorship.
Yeah, that's censorship, and I don't agree with that either. But I do think that it starts and stops with expectations, right? Your expectations, and it starts with leadership, right? Whether you like it or not, I think that
Phil is not a leader. And the reason Phil is not a leader is because Phil does not have a community. He is not a person that has fostered a community. He has fostered a handful of individuals that support him.
And then there's a bunch of LARPers who you can never know if they're true fans or not.
you are the leader of your community. You are the people that everyone looks to on how somebody should act, how somebody should interact with other people in your chat. How you are the flag bearer of how what the community should be like, right? So
yeah, no having fun. Talk about the game. Talk about me. Those are the only two things you should be talking about.
Other stuff.
Why are you all talking about Mad Men?
Talking about basketball. I don't watch basketball. Talk about the game.
I'm playing a game here, guys. Maybe talk about that.
Hey, you guys are friendly with each other. You want to communicate in a way because there's no other way that you guys can communicate because I don't have a Discord or anything. So this is the only way that you guys ever see each other. And you want to talk about basketball? No, talk about the stream. Talk about me.
I think ultimately your community emulates the hosts. And
that being said, I do say I
Phil
understand.
Phil is mad cult leader.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. He dictate the rules, and you got to follow them rules.
And you better follow them rules.
And not wanting to go into business with someone that you don't respect.
Yes.
I personally know many different people that are very successful that I don't respect, and I'm like, couldn't be happier not working with them. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But would he have taken money if they offered them $50K? Because I would go, yes, I'd take that money. How can I interact with chat on my few streams better than Phil? Because Phil doesn't enjoy his chat. He doesn't enjoy the people that watch him.
Because you appreciate people coming by and watching.
He does not want to
It's
be there.
It's expected.
That shit is still crazy to me. Don't get off topic in chat like he's a teacher telling kids not to get off track.
It's crazy. Just like, no. You don't get to talk about the stuff you don't want to talk about.
Real ones, no. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
So well, let's kind of let's kind of dig into this a little bit, right? So where's the line, right? When you have, let's just say you have a community member that you know via their Twitter. Let's just say they are selling coke, right? They're selling illegal drugs, whatever. Don't you want to be like, hey man, like I'm not into that. Like there's visual evidence of them doing something bad or at least alluding to something negative, something that would be shunned in a normal society, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
What was he just doing?
He was just like,
he did that.
Looked down.
He wiped his shirt and then he looked down at his shirt.
That like there's visual evidence of them doing something bad or at least alluding to something negative, something that would be shunned in a normal.
Phil is the weirdest dude, y'all.
Society, right? But you know they're a part of your community, and once again they're coming into their community potentially, potentially bleeding that into the community. I don't think you censor them, but maybe have a conversation about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's a line of, is it influencing you and your content in your community or not? So I think we're going towards a certain topic. I don't.
This guy is Phil. Answer the question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, let me steer this ship into my direction.
He was just like, nope. You don't get to bring this up. I'm gonna bring it up. I don't care what you're talking about right now. We're gonna talk about Derek, and we're gonna talk about him in the way that I want to talk about him. So let's just talk about that instead of what you're talking about.
Know if there's a particular person you may be referencing, Craig.
I'm not going to reference any specific community members. That's not what this is not about. This is not about specific community members. We're here to talk to you.
Okay.
I do.
God,
what's wrong with the nodding?
What's
wrong with the nodding?
I want to actually address something real quick. So Keem actually just tweeted and responded to what you just said, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to read his tweet. Keem, he said, DSP is lying in this live interview. I called Phil at the agreed times, and he ignored my calls and claimed later he was at work.
Shaking his head.
He disagrees. So it is poignant. When he disagrees with something, he will shake his head.
Ignored my calls for $50K up front for the Low Cow podcast to stream to under 200 live viewers, begging for them to pay his rent and his utility bills. Both Wings and Boogie agreed to Low Cow podcast. The only reason it didn't happen was because of DSP. Thoughts? Response?
It's a blatant lie. He called me when I was on stream. I looked at my phone when I was on stream, wondering why I was getting a phone call. After the fact, I realized that was Keemstar calling me when I was on live streams. It's just blatantly false. I gave him the times. I said there was time frames between.
Hey, can you pull up the DM showing the times you said, and then can you pull up your call logs? Change his name in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't show his number. And show when he called.
He could call. One day I actually sat here for an hour in my office after a stream waiting for him to call, and he never called.
Well, if it's not true, he's gonna post.
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't you call?
Why were you waiting around? Why didn't you DM him and go, hey, yo, I'm ready for the call?
Why didn't you text him and just go, I'm available for the call for the next hour if you got the time?
And you were streaming in the phone call, and if not, then it's pretty easily provable.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
he never. I tell you right now, to my knowledge, he never actually called me when during the times that we talked.
Hey, that's a lie. That he literally just said that's a lie.
And to my knowledge,
he didn't call.
Imagine if you could just get away with that. To my knowledge, that's a lie, Your Honor.
No, that's a lie. That muff was there. Well, to my knowledge, he was there.
When he was available, to my knowledge. So that's all I can say. And then after the
pull up your phone and look at the times.
Impossible. Can't be done.
Here's the thing. I just wanted to have the conversation. As I told you guys, I personally have issues with the guy and the content he puts out. I do. So
what was he just playing with? Was it his phone?
Irrelevant. He's Phil.
At least knowing it's in my family's best interest to have the conversation, find out what the conversation is about, at least to find out, But he wouldn't even have the conversation. So if the conversation doesn't take place, of course I'm not gonna say. If you can't even have the call, how on earth could you ever enter a business relationship with someone for a big amount of money, for a big commitment of time?
EDP, to my knowledge, that child was over 18.
Your Honor, to my knowledge, I did not kill that person whose blood is all over me.
It just didn't make any sense to me at all. So that's why it never happened.
Okay.
And by the way, Boogie, I've talked with Boogie behind the scenes. He really wanted me to be on the show. But I told him personally, I can't do it, man. I can't do anything with Keem.
You screwed.
Then why talk to him?
You screwed them out of $50K, Phil.
I would be furious.
Furious. If I needed the money, if I didn't need the money, and it would have just been nice to have. Imagine somebody
easy $50K.
Imagine you are offered $50K and it is reliant on another person, and that person goes no. It's relying on two other people. One other person says yes immediately, and the other person says no.
The other is baby mode.
Just because of the person who's giving you the money.
Yeah, Phil is nuts. He's big fool mode because he's just big. Like I said, I think that he is really the power thing of you're gonna have power over me, but at the very least, I can give you a time to call, and you gonna call.
I'm gonna get a little bit of that power back. I had to push my fast back 2 days. That when I walked in the rain, I got a little sick.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I was at work and it was just a tickle like right here, and I was coughing. I was like, "Oh no!"
$50K right now. Nice down payment on a car.
You could buy a car.
Yeah,
yeah. You could buy a used car. Just buy a used car, like $12K. Yeah, that'd be nice.
It
and
would be,
the rest would probably be savings, honestly.
Savings.
I'd probably
not. Maybe go to like a rent to own home.
Oh, those are scams.
No, they're fine.
But if you've got $50K, that's a down payment on an actual house.
Yeah, maybe that as well.
Yeah,
but it would be responsible stuff. And then every time I get a nice chunk of money, it's always responsible stuff, and then I always set aside like here. It's a nice chunk of money. I'm going to give me
irresponsible.
I'm going to give me a little something.
I just can't do it. I can't be involved business with what he stands for. It's kind of...
What does he stand for, Phil?
Yeah, you don't know what he stands for. You don't know this person. You've not had a conversation with them.
I only know they're scams because I've looked into them when I want to own a home.
Takes one to know one, huh?
It's essentially, if you ever miss a payment, it's all defaulted.
Oh my goodness.
And you don't get that money back, and then you get kicked out. You get evicted. Oof. Yeah.
Like the same.
And a lot of times, even when you could be 80% paid up and it's over.
Well, don't miss a payment.
And sometimes
you suck whatever you got to do to get that last payment. You know what I'm saying?
I know this is going to sound crazy. All right. I'm the kind of guy that if I can help it, I won't shop at Walmart. Okay.
I hate that look that he gave.
You're not a better person
for not shopping at Walmart.
Hey, Phil, you own video game consoles. A lot of them are built on slave labor through China factories.
Your phone. Tell me about the phone. Tell me about the components of the phone. Do you think that those are ethically sourced?
The headphones you're wearing right now.
The meat that you eat. Have you thought about that, Phil? What's the line of efficacy where you just go, nah, that's too far? Apparently, it's putting local businesses out of business.
Potentially local businesses out of potential business.
But you're fine with everything else. What else don't you do for an ethical reason in your life? No, it's just
if I can help it, I can shop at Walmart. So there are times when you shop at Walmart. What are those times, and why do you shop at Walmart during those times? Because it can't be like oh my God, we need blank, and only Walmart is open. Unless it's something life-saving that can wait till tomorrow. So what is it?
Hey, y'all in chat. Y'all, you $500 from your last payment. You ain't got it. Somebody goes, zip? What you doing? What are we doing here? You telling me you not? All right? You ain't got all the recourse. You do what you got to do.
There could be other recourse.
There might be another recourse, but this is here right in front of me right now. So
if you're 40 minutes from the deadline, there may be no other recourse. You may need to zip. But if you're 3 weeks out, you're just like, dang,
well,
what am I doing?
This is just what it is. Like, no, you just want to do this. You ain't asked nobody. You ain't trying to find a part-time job. You not
this
trying.
Was always on the tip
this
of your
was
tongue.
the plan.
Why? I don't.
Why are you in that position? Hey, life takes you some crazy places.
You know I'm not one to judge.
I hate that company. The company is destroying small businesses, little towns, right? Now, everyone shops at Walmart because it has the best price. If I can help it, I will. Every once in a while, I go.
What are the once in a while? What are the... Do you... Yeah, and again, you are not a better person for doing...
Once in a while, you're taking money away from small businesses.
This is no different. And then, you shop at Fred Meyer's / Kroger, which is the same... They do the same things.
Why is that better?
Because they're not as big or as disgusting. Even though Kroger's disgusting. Hey, you play Hogwarts Legacy. What was the ethics there?
None. Gone. Bye.
In fact, defended people playing it. Defended your position to play it. That's why all this unethical... There are no ethics in capitalism. I understand. But I'm not going to begrudge someone playing Hogwarts Legacy. Do what you do. I'm going to explain why I'm not and shrug my shoulders at the people that do. It's your entertainment. It's your life. I don't give a shit. But to go, I'm not going to shop at Walmart. I'm not going to do business with Keem. You piece of shit. You broke.
Which one are you stuck on?
Hey, it's not a good series.
Because if you got past 6, you're good to go.
6 is the worst. 6 is the worst. It's a really bad series.
It's fine.
It's a really bad series. Fine.
But for the most part, I can't. That's the kind of guy I am. Maybe
it's part 6.
No, that's fine. No, that's the one that you want to get stuck on. That's the hurdle.
Book and movie is the worst one. He'd really die rather than get help from Keemstar.
In the ditch. Just sitting there. Literal cup shaking.
Hey, Triton, the love potion is story relevant, and they cut out the story a lot in the movie.
It's a huge flaw with me, right? But I'm not going to take money. I always feel like taking a paycheck from Keemstar is kind of like blood money. That's...
Phil, you playing video games is blood money because you are playing on consoles that are built in factories in China where they do slave labor.
Hey, Phil, how did Susan Wojcicki get in her position when she was YouTube CEO? Do you know that? Do you know if she stepped over anybody or did any unethical practices to get to where she was?
Weren't you blowing everybody over at Twitch while you were on Twitch, even though you said afterwards, oh, they were doing unethical practices? Hey, Phil, didn't you go to Evo even though you said I knew all the stuff they were doing behind the scenes? All the horrible things they were doing? Yes, Triton, it is a literal rape potion, and it comes into play with the story of Voldemort.
Awooga.
Yeah, no.
Money he made on the backs of people, drama content he put out, people he's hurt to earn it. I'm not going to do that.
Chris the Chilled says, I will never downplay SNK for teaming up with a Saudi prince. The fans demand KOF content.
Yeah, like WWE takes blood money from the Saudis every year. If you don't want to watch it based on that or just that one program or support it, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
That's on you. If people do want to support it, I'm not going to be like... The main guy, Mr. Wizard, was...
He was doing a DA, we should say.
Yes. Doing a 445.
if you catch my drift. Legitimately.
Yeah, no jokes. 445 in it.
Years and years. It feels just like, yeah, everybody knew. Yeah, I knew everybody knew, but we just ain't say nothing.
Yep. And then he went to Evo, and he still owed Evo 4th place.
And then when it came out later, he was just like, yeah, this is disgusting. Everybody knew it was horrible.
So where's your ethics there? None, I guess, huh? None, I guess, huh?
You start your career on like drama and hate?
But not as people. I will say this. I never, if I could help it,
the people in the Street Fighter.
Hey, Phil. Ooh, Street Fighter. Ooh. Hey, Phil. Didn't you have friend request ridicule?
That was a big thing. Produced and everything.
Did you have that? And weren't they producing big views for you?
I think they were.
Hey, Phil. Never against people if you could help it, Phil.
The Street Fighter community, like that's who you said you were targeting.
Oh, okay, that's different. And here's the thing. You're right.
Yes and no.
Did you do that? Oh, that was different.
Oh, yeah, I did do that. But do you think that Keem could explain himself like this? Or do you think that you're the only month that's afforded that?
Would he accept the explanation from Keem like this? No. The answer is no. I'm not even going to. It's no.
How's that different?
It's different because I've changed now.
It never happened. Well, it happened then. Yeah, but I've changed.
What is a reprehensible thing that Keemstar has done recently? Could you say that he changed?
I'll agree, and I've talked about this in documentaries about.
Oh, the side and the left.
Adam is done.
Oh, he's done.
Like, no, come on now.
Oh, Chris put a mixtape out for his. A track list out for his mixtape.
Oh no.
BK from Lumber Interlude. Fire! Oh, I'm gonna have to look on this.
I'm sorry. You sound like the abusive ex-boyfriend trying to get back with his girl. I've changed now. Don't worry about it.
Adam, you're talking about something that happened in the first half of 2000s.
I know. I'm just calling, as I said. It just sounds funny, like hearing that. Yeah. That I changed now. That line is so. I don't know, overused by the wrong people.
I was an online troll in the Street Fighter community. Absolutely. There was online harassment that happened. Absolutely. I've learned from that. I've been through it myself now, and I realize how harmful that is and why you would never do it, especially when you're someone in a position of power who has an audience to actually troll people, to do drama against people. That's so harmful to them.
Trolling people is harmful to them? You suck.
Hey, wasn't it like 4 or 5 years ago where like, I give you permission to attack that guy?
Yep.
Wasn't it like 3 or 4 years ago where you were like, poor old Jared, it's cool that people are trolling him because he's a piece of Oh, Phil hates people.
Mm-hmm. We can go till 6:30 because I forgot we got the Kaiser thing. Right. And we need probably get that before the fireworks really get on and pop in.
I would never do that for personal gain.
10 minutes, y'all.
And, ever again, and taking that money from Keemstar.
Hard out, unfortunately.
People who've been hurt in order to benefit. I can't do that.
Have you reached out to anybody that you feel that you wronged in the Street Fighter community to let them know that you changed and that you're sorry?
Well, the people from back then, I would have absolutely no idea how to contact, but I have publicly said things.
How do you not know how to contact them? Do you know their name? Look up their name and then look up Twitter and then you will find them.
Guess what happened?
And they looked them up instantly.
They publicly contacted.
They heard the name. Give me a name. Here's the name. Here's his Twitter. Within minutes. And he's just like, well, I don't know how to use this newfangled glowy box to contact people. They're gone. So this is excuse number one. I don't know how to contact him.
Oh yeah, Phil hates trolls because he was one.
Oh yeah,
Dr. No was very good.
Worf, you missed 2 hours and 30 minutes?
Yep.
Three
and a half.
3.5.
3.5.
You missed 3.5. You missed a lot. We got a lot of money talk.
Last year, I did a.
We're watching 10 more minutes, Priscilla. Of our time.
It was millions and millions of views. It's one of the videos everyone was watching. It was made in 2017. It covers all my early years as a YouTuber, but also my career in the Street Fighter community. And I admitted publicly to how bad I was back then, what an awful person I was, just to get over in the Street Fighter community. There's people back then that, for no good reason, I trolled them. For no reason, I'm just an asshole. And I apologized in that video. I mean, do you want me to name names?
Well, sure. Yeah, because I want to know who's so hard to get a hold of.
What's his name? Shady K. I don't even know if he's even around anymore. in the Street Fighter community. I mean, in the early 2000s, I destroyed this guy for no reason, no good reason. I don't, you know, I latched on to people because look, if the more.
What is it in you to do that? Because I have personally never done something like that. I like to think of myself a fairly good person who takes people's feelings into consideration. I have no need to do that.
Done anything cruel and vindictive like that.
To make somebody actively dislike me, to troll people online just for the laughs and for the goofs of it. What made you want to do that, Phil?
Glug glug.
Make fun of this guy, or the more
both of those comments are taken out of context. One True King, well, one of them, I guess.
I get over it, right? And it caused so much drama. You know, we almost fought at Evo. It's so stupid. Now I look at it, I'm like, boy, that was dumb. What kind of dumb shit was I? I thought I was a pro wrestler. I thought, oh man, I'm talking shit, and we're gonna have big rivalries at fighting game championships. It's the dumbest shit.
Within a minute. I don't know if this guy's around. This is a guy. Here he is, right here.
As Phil is explaining this, Craig has the time to look it up and put it on the screen. This is the most.
You didn't try.
You didn't try.
You didn't want to try. Just say that.
You know,
right. So
is
this
long Tran?
I don't know. You tell me, because that's the thing. Like these people are not hard to get a hold of, and is DM
lovely. Not hard to get a hold of, Phil. What are you talking about?
Are open. So like I feel like that's pretty disingenuous to say like, well, it's more like you don't want to put forth the effort in saying that, you know, I'm going to say this publicly, and it's a big blanket to cover all the things that I've done wrong. When if you know that you've done things that you regret, you should probably reach out to people and say like, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for what I said. Because the reality is that on today's internet, it's not impossible to find these people. It's very easy. And it just comes down to
easy,
like
so
a little
long
bit
as
of
they
effort.
have
And I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm saying that maybe there's an opportunity to provide a little more effort.
You know what, Craig? I never even thought about it like that. Here's why.
Excuse number 2. So it pivoted from
I don't know how to get
a hold of them to another excuse. Now here's the reason why I won't do that.
Oops.
Little mini story. When I was in high school, I was bullied a lot. Okay, and
another
years later,
story.
one of my bullies actually contacted me, like probably around that time frame, and I was in the Street Fighter community. And he found me online. He contacted me out of the blue. He's like, I just want to let you know.
We got to stick together.
I'm just kidding. No, he basically said, I'm sorry for what I did to you in high school. Like, I think back on it now because I've grown and I've matured and I realized what an asshole I was. And I said that, I responded, I said, thanks, but I don't really care. You know, I've moved on with my life.
Pause.
You don't have to worry
Irrelevant if you don't care. He needs that to grow and heal. He needs to say, I've grown enough to know that I've done wrong and I've hurt you. And I wanted to extend just to show I'm sorry for what I've done to you. I've grown enough to recognize that I need to show my sorrow for what I've done. Irrelevant of how you feel about it.
You're irrelevant.
It's about that person and doing that action.
And that was it. So to me, I'm so far removed from those days. You know, we're talking 20 years ago. Does this guy care to hear from me 20 years later in a DM?
Yes.
Never.
Instantly. He goes, and that's the thing. On his stream, he would just be allowed to say, no, he doesn't care.
Yes.
Here, there's pushback of, yes, he does care. Of course he would care.
Phil, you said you were bullied as a kid. Would you not appreciate your bully 20 years later going, hey, I was a complete douchebag to you, and I'm very sorry for the things I've done. Even if it doesn't really do anything.
That was the story you just told.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think I was talking about?
Oh.
He said that back in high school he was bullied, and the bully came up was just like, I'm sorry, yo, and he didn't care.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Because Phil's a big manly man. So he used that, and it pivoted from, I don't know how to get a hold of him, to, oh, he just don't care. Because I don't care. So everybody don't care. Because I'm me. And
the golden God back at it again. With
everybody thinks like me.
Everybody thinks like me. The implication.
Never even crossed my mind, but you know what? You've made the point. And
it never crossed my mind that people could think and feel differently from me. Does Phil have empathy?
I think that he does, but it's only when he really, really cares. It has to be something directly in his eyesight. Like if he saw Cat over here getting punched, he ain't care about that bit. But he ain't care. But if it was Cat, she was walking and her heel.
You think he care about that bit?
Yes, I do. But if she was walking and her heel broke and, she was like, oh no, my heel. And she's on the ground. And then over there was somebody getting actively robbed and Phil could stop it. You go for Cat. That's what I mean.
Because I think that's more about fear.
No, I say, and he could stop it.
Yeah, but he'd be afraid to stop it.
Let's go to something a little bit simpler then. A kid dropped their ice cream and they could be comforted.
Phil hates children.
A woman of
Phil
equal attract.
And he'd probably go for Cat just so he doesn't get the side eye from Cat that he thinks he's gonna get, since he can't have even anime waifus.
I was gonna say, somebody loudly exclaims, "I'm using my last $5 to pull for a Hogan," and they pull it and they don't get him, and then I was like, "Nah, Phil would probably just laugh at him." All right.
Phil probably has empathy, but just very low amount, maybe.
I think that he does. I think that
I don't think I've ever seen him exhibit empathy. He didn't have empathy for Howard. He didn't have empathy for John. He didn't have empathy for his friends, his dead friends. For respect to Pact.
I would have to think about this, and we don't have the time to think about this. No. So I'm just going to say that I'm right, and you're going to press play.
Now I'm going to have to think about it. I have to think about who are those people that I wronged back then.
He only apologized to Shady K.
Yes, because so that he could say that he did, and nobody else.
Because that was the person that was actively called out.
Who possibly I could maybe reach out to. He's definitely probably number one. Because that was one of the people who, for no reason. It was just every day hammering that guy to the point where at the end of EVO, we had a grudge match on stage. And then when it ended, I wanted to shake his hand, and he was so upset he refused to shake my hand because I trolled him so badly on the internet. He basically was like, irrevocable harm that you've done to me. I'm not going to shake your hand. You're a piece of garbage.
That's not what he said.
Now I look at that and I'm like,
that's not how people talk.
Yeah, that's not how people talk.
That's how people filter through Phil's brain talks.
We would have felt the same because I've been through that shit.
You've inflicted irreparable harm on me, sir, and I shan't engage in your company.
There shall be no pleasantries here, sir.
Right? But you're right.
Well, I think
makes sense.
What you're talking about. You're talking about growing as a person. I think those are things that people you can absolutely learn from. And absolutely should learn from. And those are things that are incredibly important to do. And to answer your question, does he want to hear from you? I guarantee he wants to hear from you. He doesn't know he wants to hear from you. These people don't. But taking time to just say, "Hey, man, I messed up." It's not a bad thing.
It's appreciated.
Yes. If especially if you know you messed up. Like people said, "Oh, Craig, you messed up,but I don't know why I messed up." They just point their finger.
True. I know why I messed up.
It's me every single day on this show.
It's been a consistent theme with Adam. He's always pointing his finger. I mean, you really messed up. All right.
Good point to stop. They're going on to something else. Oh, this did not go as planned. I'll say that. I expected a comparable ratio that would get us around the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, you thought.
And then the next time we could just polish it off.
Yeah, okay, sir.
I was mistaken.
So wait, can someone fill me in on what's going on here? Did he severely bully someone and doesn't understand why his victim wants him to apologize? Absolutely. Because Phil was bullied as a kid in high school, and then the bully apologized to Phil, but Phil didn't care. So he assumes the person that he bullied wouldn't care to hear from Phil.
That's his mindset.
That's his mindset.
I didn't care, so nobody's going to care if they hear an apology.
So why would the bully apologize to me and I didn't care? So why would I, as the bully, apologizing to someone, make my victim care? It's disgusting. He sucks. Mm-hmm. But we're out. We got a hard out. We got to go do something. Yes, Phil is so weird.
Goodness. How do we have almost 3 hours left?
Almost 3 hours left.
This is ridiculous. This is nuts. Oh.
Wow, it's not even the
Oh, we're not going to get to Keem next stream. Oh.
Yeah, we're talking 352 before Keem's there.
He had a little bit before that.
Yeah, but that was just him alone. Yep, there he is. 333. I mean, we might be able to get to the end of when Keem was out.
First time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Joe. It's stupid. Phil is just a stupid person.
Like, he hasn't really shown any empathy at all.
Axel
really.
Gray says, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne.
Mm-hmm. Keep it in there. We need to keep them fed so we can keep it going. If I were to say he had no empathy, that would be
me saying he leans too big a sociopath.
Watery.
I'm not sure I would class him as a sociopath.
Yeah, exactly. That's my whole thinking.
I don't know if I could clock him.
Very, very low level. Very low level.
I will just say I have yet to see him exhibit it. I have
yet to see him exhibit empathy enough warning, remembering.
I have seen him express it. Just like, I feel so sorry for that person. And just saying the words. But I have never experienced his action showcasing actual empathy towards a person.
I think when he was watching the Keem documentary and Etika came up.
Is he just placating to the audience?
It could be. But that's always going to be in the back of the mind.
Because that's the problem. Because I would never think, hey, DA is putting on empathy for this person.
But I think that would feel. I would 100% think that would feel.
And that's the problem. I don't know.
You never know what's an act.
All right, we're out. Sorry.
Yep. We'll get it next time. Whatever
next
it
2-3
is.
times.